All right, welcome back to the Basin Show. Today we've been busy with school and laying sod and everything else, so we're just going to kind of have a good time talking about some stuff and some things that have been frustrating with us and local news lately, and get out some frustration.
Yeah, clearly after having a sodding good time, you got to sit here and complain about things, right?
Do I have to bleep that one? If
No,
it's British?
we're talking about sod.
It's a pun.
I know it's a pun, but it's like it's still an F word in Britain.
We're not in Britain.
Yeah.
But we support Brexit.
Yeah. So?
That's a good point. Okay, well, I'm not going to bleep it. Raiden,
Yes.
what's been pissing you off this week?
I don't know if I've been like angry. I've just been really tired lately. Mostly because school started. This might be a phenomenon entirely at our university, but I feel like I've been doing a lot more work a lot earlier in the semester than I have in the past, just because everything's online. I don't know if it's just me.
No, I totally agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like this semester, a lot more busy work.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's not like it's hard. It's just tedious and yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And like that's a bummer, and getting organized online and everything is really sad. But one thing that definitely kind of bugs me too is I feel like the quality of education I'm receiving this semester is not there.
And I still paid full price for it.
Actually, you paid a 3% price increase because they raised tuition by 3%.
You know what? Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that.
And
I knew that was going to happen. Happen.
And you also paid an increase in parking because they...
No, I didn't, because I'm online.
Oh, man.
Big brain boy.
Small brain boy over here.
Smooth brain.
The fact that you know smooth brain is
Dude,
like
it's a meme.
It's like an anatomy thing.
I know
it's so awesome.
I knew it's an anatomy thing, but it's a meme thing. Mm-hmm. Say, oh, look at these smooth brains over here that think X is a thing or whatever.
I remember when we were dissecting lamb brains in sophomore year, something like that. It was Intro to Health. They had, the brains that were dissecting, whatever. Someone had, I forget who it was, but they had it was a smooth brain. And they're like, yeah, that goat was probably autistic or something. Or
I don't think autistic is the right word.
Or maybe it was some kind of Down syndrome. Maybe. I don't know. But it was a smooth freak. It was so smooth.
Definitely like a developmental issue.
Yeah.
So what's the most smooth brain statement you guys can make right now? Do it.
We all knew the one.
He is stored.
Oh no, I was thinking of
he is stored in the balls.
What?
It's a meme. Don't worry.
There's actually a weird condition where that can happen.
I know. I'm sure it's horrible.
Because our friend told us a story about that he thought was that. Remember?
Yeah.
And then it wasn't.
Our friend.
It was a gross one. Yeah.
Rip, buddy.
Rip to that guy. But
if we had a chat, spam some Fs.
Yeah.
We'll get there someday. I'd like to do streaming sometime. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah. Would you guys like to see streams?
Yeah. Would you watch a stream?
I would. I'd buy merch too. But
just putting that out there.
Just putting that out there. If anybody else would like that.
If we had a Twitter or a Parler, would you follow it?
If we have an Instagram, which we do, you should go follow
Actually, yeah. Follow it at...
The Basin Boys.
Is that what it is?
No, it's the Basin Show.
Oh, it's the Basin Show, yeah.
Yeah, all one word, I believe.
Yeah. Which, okay. So, Derek, how do you feel about school?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you don't
go to school.
Yeah, you don't go to school, but your wife does. So you get to see this as like a third party.
Like I basically just go in the other room and just chill until she's done. Because she's doing online too.
How do you feel that she's spending all this money to go to school?
She got a full ride, so I don't give a crap.
How do you feel that some poor scholarship donor has to pay that?
I don't think they're very poor if they can donate to a scholarship, dude.
Yeah, that's a good point. But
well, I think that they made the exceptions for her. I mean, the classes are online. There's some of them they're going to do like labs and stuff are going to be in person. But her, I forgot the actual word. What's the word? When you go to the hospital.
Clinicals?
Clinicals. Those are in person. So.
Are they reduced hours though?
No, as far as I know. And she got lucky. She got to go to the place that she wanted and at the right department too.
Do they pay you for those at all?
No. That would be awesome, but no.
Weird phenomenon working free 99 for colleges.
Yeah, it seems to be a trend around here.
Yeah.
But
except I'm not getting paid big bucks for doing it.
Yeah.
That's why you just go get a job.
That's why you don't get a degree.
Work your way up.
Yeah.
Depends on what you're doing, though.
Don't.
If you're going to be a surgeon, obviously you need to go to college. But
yeah,
I didn't see the need to go to college because I didn't know what I was going to do that would require a degree. So until I figure that out, I'm not going to college.
You know, I kind of think that's a good call. A lot of people make an argument of like college can make you a more well-rounded person. You can go take some good classes and stuff like that. Dude, I don't think if I didn't know what I was going to do and like, cause I know my career field that I want to do, I don't think I'd be spending, especially if you don't have scholarships, spending what, like at Weber State, it's pretty cheap, but like everywhere else you have places where people are spending what, $8,000 a semester to go. Yeah.
Well,
like 15 a year
for
to go.
Ivy League schools. Yeah.
They're not spending it; they're financing it, which is the scary part about it, because it's a non-bankruptable loan, all these student loans, which is why they can get you, you know, even if you have no credit, you can give you much debt as they want because it's non-bankruptable. You're going to pay it either way.
Good news right now, though, student loans are currently frozen, which is real good.
One of the good things about coronavirus, which did you guys hear about? What the CDC came out and said.
They updated their numbers. Was it 94%? 94% of COVID fatalities had underlying health issues on top of coronavirus. So,
you know, the weird part is like, I think it was the Atlantic that like I saw this source from. The Atlantic had brought up like, yeah, so they're now saying that in that 94%, they have like diabetes, obesity, congestive heart failure, underlying respiratory conditions, stuff like that, that would probably kill you at some point anyway. And an argument a lot of people make is like coronavirus accelerated it, which it probably did. But then I see the arguments of like, or I see the things in that article that said like, yeah, some of them are like accidental deaths too.
Like car accidents. I remember hearing a case. It was in a local body of water. I'm not going to name it, but apparently a teenage kid had drowned, and they knew he drowned, but they claimed it was COVID death.
Sounds like there was a lot of that going around.
Which, I mean, you could argue that maybe this individual drowned. Basically, the idea is there's a challenge with this particular body of water where you swim from one shore to the other and back. It's about 1.5 miles round swim. Yeah. I mean, the argument you can make is either they died from drowning or they died from COVID because they didn't have enough ability to breathe, thus they drowned. Depending on how you want to look at it.
You know, but my thought is like, if you don't feel well because you're sick, you're not going to go swim 1.5 miles or try to swim 1.5 miles.
Yeah, even if you've done it before, you're not going to do that. I wouldn't.
Which, I don't know, dude. There was some people in Logan that actually got arrested at a hospital up there for basically misrepresenting their COVID numbers. It was a bad deal,
Good,
man.
they should be arrested for that.
I agree with that. That's totally fraud. That's
yeah.
I think it spreads fear too.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know if I should. Do you want to switch gears back to college real quick?
Yeah, back to college. Back to college, which has been severely messed up.
If we are talking about things that make us angry, I hate the argument that like college makes a more well-rounded person. I don't
agree.
I feel like a lot of college, at least with generals, a lot of it seems to me like indoctrination. Like it's like, oh yes, here's some chemistry, and by the way, here's my views on things. Like I don't care. Just tell me how a nucleus works and get out of my face.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, like, because I'm in the long haul for school. Like I've got a lot of school going on.
Yeah,
and man, I learned so much with like school and classes and stuff. And I feel like classes in my major have kind of helped me to be more well-rounded. Mm-hmm. But honestly, it's like the extracurricular things that I've done that have helped me be more well-rounded. I like, especially the general courses. Oh man, they teach you one way of thinking in a lot of those classes, and that frustrates me. I think they should be teaching you two ways of thinking, because for you to come across and say, "Yep, I'm going to give you my viewpoint, and that's the way it is." A lot of cases aren't like that, and luckily, I'm in the field where I don't have to deal with that.
I'm sure it gets better once you get further into a major.
Yeah,
but at least for me, like I just want to finish my general so I can get out of the way. I'm almost done.
Yeah, that and like where my degree is all like science based too. There's no really opportunity for a professor to be like, yeah, like this is my idea. This is what's supported by science, and that's what gets taught. And that's why I like my degree so much. I couldn't be like a liberal arts major. I couldn't do it.
And like that being said, though, I'm sure with econ, I'm going to get a lot of the spectrum of all sorts of beliefs, which is fine because I definitely have mine. I think part of the reason it makes me angry though, like the general stuff, is I'm very like, I know what I know. I know what I believe. Don't try to change my mind. It makes me angry when you try to do that. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but like, I don't know. That makes me angry.
No, I get that. And like, there's a certain point where a lot of people argue you and say, well, you're just not being open-minded. You just only want to hear your point of view. And like, there's a difference between like not wanting to hear anyone else's point of view and also just getting annoyed that people keep continually trying to change yours.
Yeah.
With just bad.
Well, it's not even, your point of view might be a certain way, but the point of view that they're showing is only a certain way as well.
Yeah.
It's not, you're getting some different ideas from different points of view. This is the point of view.
And that being said, I'm not against new ways of thinking. I'm all for it. I mean, I listen to a lot of different, podcasts, different views. I do appreciate it. I like the diversity of thought. I don't know.
It's just not on college campuses.
Yeah, I think with education too, like
It's in
these kids are coming to learn, you know, and like if you're like, well, I'm going to take advantage of this kid, you know, like, because I don't know, there's an aristocracy that comes to like having professors and stuff like that of like,
Absolutely.
oh, I respect this guy. He's pretty freaking smart. If he thinks that like republicanism is bad, probably shouldn't like republicanism, you know, like.
Or whatever it be.
Yeah.
Yeah, even other things too. Like, oh, this professor thinks nuclear energy is bad. It must be bad.
It's not.
Without doing any, it's actually great. We need more nukes. Bring on the nukes. Needs more nukes.
But not the bomb ones. The ones that we like don't pollute.
No, we need both kind of.
We have plenty of the other ones, I'm sure.
I know.
Yeah.
We need more nuclear power. I just wanted to say nukes. I think it's funny.
Nukes is kind of funny.
Yeah. I mean, just,
Why
needs more nukes.
Why, when people microwave things, I usually say, go nuke it.
Yeah, because it's
Like
yeah.
radio waves.
waves, yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
It's
microwaves.
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 Come on, bro.
Radioactive
It's got
waves.
microwave in the name.
It didn't finish it. Radioactive waves.
I don't think they're radioactive.
It's radiation.
But like,
It's radiation.
but it's not radioactive though, because radioactive implies like stuff is like flying off.
I'm sure if you put like a fork in one, you might get a little bit of some sparky boom going on. But
Okay, so there's a YouTuber that I've watched. He got famous, and I noticed there's a common trend in how he got famous. So, do you guys think we would get more views if we microwaved stuff?
no, yeah, we would, but we're not doing that.
But we could microwave a microwave. Microwaving a microwave. That's literally what this guy did. It's Mr. Beast, but like,
Yeah.
All right. Let's pause this real quick. I got to get my dog. He's barking.
sorry guys, Moose the Destroyer's back at it. Okay. All right. We back?
We're back.
We're back.
Okay, we're back. Just to make sure that's clear.
Yeah, we had to fix the dog problem real quick.
Get Moose the Destroyer out of there.
Yeah.
Okay, what are we talking about?
We were talking about colleges, but we can move on.
Okay,
We can go back to Rona if you want.
go back to Rona. I don't know. How do you guys feel about the Rona? Are you guys worried about the Rona?
No.
Sweet and sour or sicken? Not really.
It's, I don't know. It obviously there's, if you get it, it can be bad, you know, but I've talked to a couple of people who've had it and they said it's pretty bad, but I've had really bad flus that sound about the same.
Yeah.
Basically, I don't know. I'm starting, I'm getting indoctrinated into the idea that it's all just a political scheme at this point. Like it's ridiculous.
And I don't think it's all a political scheme. Like, personally, I don't really worry if I get COVID. Like, I feel like I'd be fine. And if not, then I don't really have a choice at that point. So I don't care. But, I don't know. I'd worry about getting someone else sick. That's kind of where I would feel guilty. But at the same time, like, I don't know if everyone should be restricted. So those people that are worried about getting sick can be protected. Shouldn't those guys be taking the measures to protect themselves?
Absolutely. That's kind of my take on it, is like, especially with the mask thing. I don't know if we really can go much into that, but like, if I'm walking up to a business and they have a sign saying, please wear a mask, I will do so.
I agree.
If there's a shop that says you must wear one, I will say, I'm taking my business somewhere else. I don't like being told what to do. If you ask me politely, I'll do it. If you demand I do it, you're getting nothing.
That's a very American thing. I've kind of noticed that.
Actually, it's Sun Tzu. There's a Sun Tzu quote in Art of War. It's like, ask for 3, I will give you 3. Demand 3, I will give you none. Is the
really? Okay.
I'm paraphrasing, but
Is he Chinese?
Yeah.
Is that okay? That where he's from? That's odd because China's such like a collectivist culture that like.
I mean, maybe now.
Yeah, you're right. They do because I don't know. They they handle situations like this a lot better because I would agree. Yes. Because if the government says, hey, everybody stay home, they're a more collectivist society. And they're like, okay, I'll stay home for that reason versus Americans. We're like really individualistic.
Well, okay. I guess my argument on the individualist versus collectivist, I think collectivism in this sense is dangerous because they will do terrible things to the individual for the collective, like welding people's doors shut. I'm really not about that.
I'm not either. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's kind of where I draw. It's more the human suffering aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know
but it can be really good as far as like if they have someone suffering
efficient.
and everyone like comes together to help them. It can be good.
It's very efficient, but like I think there's enough instances where it's terrible for the individual. I go, no, I don't want that.
Okay, so what do you think about like New York? They still are not opening their restaurants or things like that.
I feel like those restaurant owners are screwed.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a large exodus out of New York and California.
Yeah.
There's an exit out of California for so many damn reasons.
Locusts.
I don't even, dude, California needs to just become its own state. I can't even deal with California.
California's okay, I probably can't.
Oh, not state, country. There we go. Yeah. They're already a state, but
there's like a joke that if I see a California, I'm like, welcome to America.
Honestly, they're just like a different place, man.
You guys ever count the license plates?
What was that?
Yeah.
Like every time you get in the car, you count how many California plates you see.
There's a lot of California.
I spend 5 to 6 hours a day driving for my job. And yeah, I get into triple digits sometimes on I-15. Like it's bad.
Yeah. And like, I don't know. I don't have a problem with like people coming in from California. Like my grandmother's side was from California, but I do have an issue with them coming over here and like, I don't know, if they're leaving California for a specific reason and they're bringing that reason with them, that pisses me off.
Yeah.
Like
I've said it before. Don't move somewhere else because of bad things where you were and then vote for the same things in the next place. Like don't ruin it for the people who are already there. I've said it before.
Yeah.
Like I'll say it again.
So, okay, with that then, talking about California and New York, if you guys heard about any of like the TikTokers or the YouTube, I don't know what they are, like TikTokers or the YouTubers who throw parties and like the mayor comes in and shuts their power off.
That's a human rights violation.
I kind of agree with that. And I've seen people fight on the other side for they need to send more relief because of COVID to American families because them not being able to pay their utilities is a human rights violation. But when it benefits them to come in and cut off some partier's water.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just an authoritarian thing.
I agree.
It's like, I'm the mayor. I'm going to solve it. I'll cut this person's power.
Here's the thing, though. A lot of my family's from Arizona. I spent a lot of time there. And I'm pretty sure California's the same way. If somebody walks into a business and they ask for water, you have to give them water because they will die. Like businesses and places are required by law to give you water. So if you shut off someone's water who's paying for it, that is absolutely a human rights violation.
That's the same thing then, is what they're telling the businesses they can't do.
But they're the ones who pushed for it. And it, like what you're saying, it drives me crazy.
Man, that's like bass backwards, man.
It is.
I don't know. And like personally, like I think those people still have the liberty to choose if they want to have a big party.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone there had the like freedom to choose to go to the party and possibly risk getting COVID. Mm-hmm. The argument that I've heard as well, what if those people from the party go spread it to other people? And my thought is just like, I don't think you can restrict them gathering, right? Even if it's for a party, isn't that like a violation of the right to assemble?
Yeah, that is an absolute, that's a violation.
Well, it's not a political assembly, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter if it's political or not. The First Amendment just says peaceable assemblies. That means churches. That means parties. That means protests. Anything goes.
Really? Is it just peaceably assemble?
We have the right to peaceably assemble. There's no qualifier.
That's totally like an American rights violation then.
Yeah.
Well, interesting that churches are still closed.
Yeah.
And there's been
it bothers me. If people
protests and riots
do
for
that,
the past,
they should have every right.
How long have we been doing this? How long have the riots been going on? Like 4
riots
months?
Started 3 months ago.
3 months?
3 months. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Like,
lockdowns.
How does that freaking make sense?
I don't know.
That doesn't make
it's
sense
got to
to
be
me.
a smart virus, man. If you can't get it by going to a protest or like a riot, But the minute you go to church, that virus is like, "Okay, activate."
Or you go to a party, it's like, "Oh, I gotcha."
Yeah. I don't know, because and people argue like, "Oh, well, the protests and the riots, they're outside, bro." Like, there are people like touching each other's faces because there's people getting punched.
Yeah,
and how is that's not?
I don't know, man. It's such a silly, arbitrary. enforcement, and it bothers me that so many people go along with it.
Yeah, and I'm all for the right to assemble, but man, I think it's an odd thing to say, well, these guys can go out and peacefully protest, but this shop owner can't open up his shop, even if he's going to be bankrupt in a month.
Yeah.
That seems like really odd to me.
Yeah, dude.
They're not even like peaceful at this point, though.
I also hate it when people will be like, they'll say something along the lines of, well, if you want to open businesses, you don't care about lives. And I'm like, well, okay, what people have to eat?
Yeah, people
You have
got
to provide for your family. Like,
You don't care about lives? Like, what about the lives of the people who run businesses?
Yeah.
or their
Or,
family,
like,
the people
just-
they support.
Mental well-being and not being stuck in a freaking box for their
Yeah,
existence,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, we got stir crazy here. Like, we tried,
We did.
We tried.
I remember
We started a realm. We started playing Minecraft. Got us out of the stir crazy.
Well, kind of. The big thing for me was I think we were 3 or 4 months into it. It's when Utah opened up again.
Oh, that was
we
good.
went camping, us and some other friends, and I remember like everybody was like, I forgot what socialization was like. Wow,
It was such an odd feeling to kind of come
it was
out of
good
that.
though. But it was weird going back.
And like people can argue, oh, you like with a virtual experience, you get kind of the same thing. No, dude, like every time after I get done teaching on SI, like I don't know, I still love teaching and helping people and like kind of watching people learn and stuff. But man, it is just not the same feeling as like everybody getting in a room together. You're joking around, you're having a good time.
Yeah, I think there's a.
Well, everything's delayed too.
Oh yeah. Or
That-
people try to talk at the same time.
Yeah, that's the worst. I mean, it kills everything. Like the flow of a regular conversation.
Yeah.
Waiting for the next person to load and pop up.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just a Zoom
Or someone has a
thing,
bad
but-
connection and like they have something really interesting to say and then it cuts out.
And you're just like, no.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think about the? Oh God, this is so stupid. I can't even say the virtual sports games tickets.
If you're
What?
paying big money,
Have you not heard about this?
No. I thought they were canceling all the sports games.
no.
There's still some that are going.
Well, I know NBA and the baseball, whatever the acronym is,
MLB.
MLB.
Yeah,
They're playing. I know MLB. They have, I believe, cardboard cutouts.
yeah. You can get a cardboard cutout. Like you have to send them a picture. You pay like some ridiculous amount of money.
I'm sure it's $100 or so. It's
Easily.
It's high
I was
for what it is.
I was told it was 200, and I'd
Might be.
imagine
I
that
don't
like
know.
behind home plate, you're
I-
probably like
I
a lot
honestly don't
more.
know, and I don't care.
But yeah, like I don't know, man. That I saw that and I'm like, you guys are, man, what is the point of you to spend $200 on a ticket to get the same exact footage I'm gonna get by never spending anything and just
Yeah.
looking on ESPN?
The thing that kills me though are the virtual ones on like the basketball games where it's like it's literally a screen with the person like with their webcam watching the game, and I'm like, if you're gonna pay $200 for that, yeah, I'm sorry, but you're kind of a chump, dude. Like I'd rather just watch the game on my couch and not sit in front of a webcam the whole
Yeah.
time. That sounds
And I mean, their money isn't going towards anything good either.
Okay.
Too. That's what kind of bums me out. Like when people are like funding these restaurants that are about to go under and stuff like that, and like, hey, like I know that you guys are struggling. You're like my local diner, mom and pop shop. Here's money that I'll be spending when I come back in.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. But with like MLB, I don't care.
no. My one addendum to the virtual NBA thing: if you're gonna buy a virtual ticket for the NBA, make sure you wear a free Hong Kong shirt.
Oh, why? It'll just get you banned.
It'd be funny for the 30 seconds people see it and they go,
Oh, it'd be so good.
and then when they ban you, go, hey man, I want my money back.
That made me mad. That was so
Yeah.
dumb. Okay, so all of these athletes can take a stance with Black Lives Matter. Not saying it's good or bad, but you have a coach that takes a stance with Free Hong Kong, and he gets like, I don't even remember what happened to him.
I don't know about the coach, but I remember there was a couple instances of back when the games were live and people were actually there. There were people who came in and they had banners or T-shirts saying "Free Hong Kong" and they got kicked out real quick.
Well, there was a coach who basically made a statement on it that said like, yeah, what's happening in Hong Kong isn't acceptable. These guys are just getting wrecked out there. And
Yeah.
China came out and they said something, and then the NBA basically had to have the guy retract a statement or something. I don't remember. It was
NBA. Oh no, it's hurting our bottom line. Oh,
yeah, but I don't know. And have you guys been hearing about all the games, like just local games, even that have been canceled lately?
no, I don't follow sports. I don't.
Yeah, I kind of follow sports a little bit, but like, so Real Salt Lake, they basically wouldn't play their game out of protest, and Real Salt Lake is actually being sold now. because the owner was so upset about it that was like, you guys agreed to play this game. We were supposed to do it. They canceled not even a day before. Like they were just like, yeah, we're not doing it. So a lot of the players came out and said, you know what? Yeah, if you're not going to support us and everything, why do you own the team? And he's like, you're right. Selling him. So I hope that they get some new crappy management because I don't think I'm going to be watching a sports game, man.
I have a hard time watching people who make millions of dollars grandstand about moral things, and I'm sitting here making, pennies an hour. It's like, I don't care what you have to say, rich man. Get out of my face.
To defend them a little bit, though, a lot of these athletes did kind of come out of really bad situations. Like I know, like Lamar Odom and like LeBron James, just to name two.
That is true.
They came out of bad situations, so they kind of know where, like they know that it's an issue.
That is true.
And a lot of them do pretty good things with their money, But my biggest issue is I don't know, like you go watch like radio and like all those other shows. Wasn't sports supposed to be this thing that's like really like
not
dividing? Yeah, and even if it's political, I thought it was like a place where like you could overcome those differences and be part of a team.
If anything, I think sports is dividing in a very constructive way.
It is now, but I don't think it was 20 years ago.
I think it always has been because you look at like different sports teams that just hate each other. That's the most
like BYU and Utah.
Yeah. There's a good example.
Fist fights. It's crazy.
I think it's okay. If you're gonna have
no one cares.
Personally, I think human beings like conflict. I think they like having a side. They like having a tribe.
They like to be on the winning.
But they also like having an other, right?
Yeah.
And I think
I can see
I think sports teams were a good way for. I was about to say something mean. Sports are a good way to have people who like that kind of thing have that without it being destructive. Like I would much rather have a society where, I dislike this sports team, and they just kind of have at it when they're wearing their sports stuff, right? When they make jokes, like that's fine. Yeah. I would rather have that than be like, you think this political party is good. I would much rather have it be sports teams.
I agree. I wish that they'd kind of like, I understand these people have a right to basically pick a side and everything, but I think they missed out on an opportunity to divide the country, man. Because sports have not been doing well lately. Like the past 5 years, they've really been kind of going downhill from what I've heard.
Oh yeah.
And I think a lot of it is because of this protest stuff. And I think if they would have came together and said, hey, look, 2020 is horrible. Like all the Democrats want to go attack all the Republicans. All the Republicans want to go attack all the Democrats. There's fighting nonstop. If they would have said, guys, check out this. This is where we have everybody working together on a team. Come support us. Come be a part of this. It's just for fun. And this is where we can get united, And I mean, sharing a drink over a beer at a sports game, man, dude, that's such an American thing. That is.
Well, that's every country too.
Yeah, especially German. I just feel like that's gone now. And that makes me so mad. They just missed such a good opportunity.
Yeah. I never watched sports at all anyways.
I loved soccer.
Yeah.
I used to watch a lot of soccer. I watched World Cup and then some of the Premier League games, but I'm not spending my time with it anymore. I'm not giving them my support.
My mom was very anti watch football on Sunday.
Because Mormon or
probably that.
Probably that. Okay.
It was just Satan's way of steering you away from
church,
focusing on what you're supposed to be focusing on Sunday, but so no sports in our house, and we didn't even have TV to watch.
Yeah, that
sports at all. That was a lot of it too. But I mean, even when we had a point where we had cable and things, still didn't watch it. My dad wasn't really into it, probably because my mom was pissed off if he did it. But
oh, that's funny.
But I don't know. Sports don't interest me as much. Lately it's just been YouTube, that's kind of, I think that's where
YouTube's
things are going.
Good content on it.
Yeah, I think,
I don't know.
Things were going that way, kind of.
Sports are weird for me. It depends on the sport. I like a lot of not team stuff, more individual stuff. I love skateboarding.
Yeah,
I used to be really big into that. Also, if I'm gonna watch a sport, I will get on YouTube and I will watch WRC from 20 years ago, World Rally Championship, dude. It's so fun to watch.
What are those?
Rally racing?
Oh, rally racing?
If you ever watched,
pretty cool.
It's insane, especially Group B stuff. You have spectators in the middle of the road. These cars are going 180 miles an hour down this dirt road, and they just dive out of the way. It is insane to watch.
Holy shoot!
Most of the good stuff.
You ever see the Russian
dash cams?
No. That too, but the sport where there's a group of some kind of European versus a different European, and they just beat the crap out of each other, and whoever's last standing.
That sounds amazing. But
That's called history, Derek.
No, it's like a
and
sport.
it's not just the Europeans either. Everyone does that.
Yeah.
No, it's like they literally get together and they have refs and stuff, and they just beat the crap out of each other. And it's the freaking.
Are there like rules, or is it just like total like
They're
anarchy?
like soccer kicking people on
That
the
sounds like
ground.
a gang fight, dude.
So it's basically like seriously a gang fight.
It's literally just like a freaking Sharks versus Jets thing, and like there's no weapons, but holy freak!
Holy crap.
I like to watch MMA.
That's fun to watch. Yeah,
Man, that's a rich man sport to watch though.
yeah.
Pay per view. I just watch the free fights on YouTube.
Yeah, me too. That or you find the guy who's streaming the sites like off of his glasses or something. You're like, yeah, those guys.
Or if you go to like back when they were a thing, you go to like B-Dubs and it'd be on one of the TVs. You're like, yes.
B-Dubs. Dude, we used to hit up B-Dubs all the time.
Yeah,
he was
did.
too busy being married to go to B-Dubs with us.
Yeah, I
but
got
like,
made fun of.
B-Dubs.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah.
Every time I think of B-Dubs, were you there that time that waitress made fun of me for saying water with a T?
Yeah. That was my friend. That was the.
Was it?
Yeah, that was the one who got into dental school. Because remember, whenever she was there, we got awesome service. And then every time that we weren't there, we got really bad
I remember she made
service.
fun of us, and I was like, or she made fun of me. I'm like, dude, why did you not use your T? Is this Layton, water, mountains? Do you not speak English?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't ever use my T's.
I know. It's a Utah thing.
You mean
But we say Utah with a T in the middle.
Utah. Good old Utah.
Yeah.
Layton. Mountain.
Go take a swim in the creek.
Melissa would give me crap for saying your name wrong.
What'd you say?
I say Kelton instead of Kelton.
Dude, I worked at an old folks home. I respond to anything.
Yeah,
I respond to like Sheldon. There's a few people used to call me that, and I'm like, should I tell them? I'm like, nah.
I always get Jared for some reason.
Jared?
You look
Jared.
like no, you don't even look like.
I don't look like a Jared.
He got it at Jared's.
So it's
Did
either
you get it at Jared's?
no, I got it on Etsy.
A man of culture.
It was a Morganite. It was an actual diamond, so it was like
Wasn't a blood diamond?
no,
Considering it was from Morgan.
no, it's just a type of
Etsy.
stone.
It was like
okay.
some handmade.
It's like a rose, it's kind of like pink.
Oh, I thought you meant it was like a person from Morgan that like got it, and I was like,
No. It's a type of stone.
oh really?
So it wasn't I'm sure they have them at like jewelers and stuff, but I was looking online and I got it there. That was pretty risky. I was pretty stressed out. It was like $1,200 a freaking ring. What a waste of money.
Yeah,
Holy
kids
freak.
don't get married. $1,200 for a ring? Really? Like, what do you get out of that? A kid?
Okay, guys, if you're listening, if your woman wants an expensive ring and she won't settle if you don't give her the right ring, that's not the right girl.
That's a good point. That's a really fair point. The ring shouldn't matter.
It doesn't
Should be the
matter. It
commitment.
could be a piece of string, like in the Count of Monte Cristo. You remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Exactly like that. That's romance. It's not a freaking.
That or you're just
Giant rock.
cheap.
Or you just get a fake diamond.
Or you just don't get married and Tinder hookups, my dude.
Braden doesn't do that. Let's just make that clear. Braden, I'm gonna save everyone's like image of Braden. He doesn't do that. He's a good person.
Thank you. People probably would have believed me.
No, but I'm not saying like if you do that, you're a bad person. But Braden is like what you
Kinda.
see, man. He's a good dude.
Kinda.
I kind of don't agree with that. I think that
I'm
you can go do
kidding.
what you want.
I'm
Yeah.
kidding entirely. I'm just memeing on him
I don't
because
know.
he's married.
I don't know. I feel like it's better with just one person, honestly.
Oh, I'm sure.
It really is. Because, you become a team at that point. It's you against everyone else.
Yeah.
So what? It's you and Melissa against Braden and I?
Yeah, I mean.
And it's going to be 3-on-2.
Dude, they got Moose. What else do they need? That boy destroys.
This dog always just, scroll tap you basically.
Should we just leave it at that and not explain at all why we call him Moose the Destroyer?
I just did.
What did you just say?
I said he just runs up and scroll taps you every time.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what he does.
It's like a nose. It's like a nose bump.
He finds it. That's what's so weird. It's like he gets the spot.
He only does it to other people. He doesn't do it to me.
He knows he'll.
He knows I'll get mad at him.
He knows he can't get away with that. Smart boy.
He is smart. Actually, I think he's okay. Moose and Rufus.
They're
Rufus,
dogs, by the way.
They're
Yeah,
dogs.
they're dogs.
Rufus, German Shorthair Pointer. Moose, Chocolate Lab.
Dude, but he's not a chocolate. He's a chonker lab. Like, dude, he is such a thick boy
I feel like Moose is smarter in certain ways because,
for getting food.
yeah, Like,
Definitely.
if we're playing fetch or something like that, tennis balls. That's all my dogs do is tennis balls. Okay. So Rufus will run if I throw it, and he'll just run. Well, Moose will watch, and then if I throw it in a different direction, Moose will get it every time. Because Rufus is
Got a boy.
just wanting. Basically, Rufus. The only reason he wants to play fetch is because he wants to chase something. So he just wants to run.
Yeah.
Really. There was a list of like top 10 dogs to get if you are a runner, and number 1, German Short Pointer, and my wife and I are not runners. I don't know why we got this dog, but he's good.
But he's a good boy.
He has a job, and that's fetch. But I like dogs. Some people don't.
I think dogs are too good for this world, dude.
That's like one of the few things that probably are too good for this world. I feel like I don't know, humans aren't good enough for this world.
No, we're not.
Certain age of human. I'd say babies are pretty.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's say like 5 and up aren't good enough.
Well, terrible 2s.
But then again, is that really their fault?
Yeah.
At 5, they start to get a little bit of control.
Yeah.
Actually, 8 would probably be the better age for like Utah,
Yeah,
right? Is that
say,
probably where?
Yeah, Utah's.
I don't know if it's a Utah thing, but
Yeah, it's based on like our.
it's a
Thing.
religion thing. But I think it
Yeah.
goes all over the planet. So what do you want? Anyway,
Okay, so back to like division and stuff. I think that like where I was kind of hoping the NBA would kind of like be a little bit unifying with sports, and like I was kind of hoping for that.
Nope.
I think a lot of people were kind of hoping Trump would try to do the same thing and try to unify. I don't think he did it.
You don't think he unified?
No,
I think it's going to be hard to unify.
I don't think there's going to be a way to unify when
but
the
I don't think
extreme
he
left
took
is
steps
just
to it.
throwing tantrums for freaking ever, trying to get him impeached every
Yeah,
time they
I
can.
think the
or-
political parties
They've been trying to get him out of the office as soon as he went in there,
Okay,
and they said that too.
my biggest thing. I don't like Trump. I don't like anybody in our government right now. My biggest thing, though, they spent $200 million investigating Donald Trump. $200 million. They didn't find anything. Do you know how much of a waste of money that is? I don't care if you don't like Trump or not, or I don't care what side you're on. You should see that they spent $200 or $200 million investigating for frickin' nothing. That is bullcrap.
And the other thing about that is,
oh man, I'm pissed about
it's
that.
not just money; it's your money. You pay taxes. Everything you buy is taxed. At least here in Utah, that's your money.
But these politicians don't see it like that.
Well, because money doesn't matter to them.
It doesn't. I mean, they're getting
$200,000 a year to sit around and do nothing for most of the year.
No, sit around and act like the freaking high school student government.
Yeah, that is my biggest gripe with government. I mean, once again, I don't like Trump, and I really don't like the Democrats. I am very much a politically homeless individual. I don't even like the Libertarian Party much anymore. That's a whole other story.
Middle ground, man. There's so much in the middle.
But
Like,
my
I love the
issue
middle.
is both political parties, I will argue it's probably more so the Democrats at this point, have become so contrarian. Like, if one party is like, yes, we really like to take showers, the other party's like, no, showers are ethically wrong. Yeah, like it doesn't matter what it is, they just have to disagree, and it bothers me.
Oh, I think the Republicans are the same way, though. I think
mean,
both
yeah,
sides are
There's
so
a lot of.
I think they
there's a
both
lot of the
are.
older Republicans, especially.
But a lot of the older Republicans are
Some of the
leaving.
new ones I like a lot.
The guy with the eye patch, he's cool.
He's
Dan
freaking
Crenshaw.
awesome.
He's Dan Crenshaw.
Dan Crenshaw. I love that guy.
But the thing with the if you look at Republicans who are running, there are a lot of people who've never ran before who are really, really good, which I think is awesome. I mean, I'm sure there are Democrats who are the same way.
Did we talk about terms last time?
term limits?
Yes.
We may have, like
we?
amongst ourselves.
Freaking make term limits, man. This is bull crap.
We did talk about term limits. Now that I think about it, but we can go into it. I'm always down.
So, So term limits for what? Was it the Senate
Yes.
senators
All
that
of
don't have
them.
term limits, or who was it that didn't have term
None of
limits?
them. The president has a term limit, but representatives don't have a term limit, if I remember
Senate
right.
doesn't
And
either.
Senate doesn't. Yeah.
How come we can't get rid of these people if they are not doing a good job?
Okay, so the
First
problem
off,
is
people don't pay attention.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the big
the
one.
issue that I've like found in research is like, okay, Congress has a 13% approval rating, which is horrible. If I got a 13% in a class, dude, I'd drop out and work at McDonald's. Not saying that's a bad job, but like, I would not go to school anymore. 13% is horrible.
I would be a
But
wagey.
it's somewhere of like 60 to 80% on average of people like support their representative and think their representative that they elected in is doing a good job. So even though they disapprove of Congress as a whole, they think their representative is doing a great job.
I like going in and
They're just
seeing.
not paying attention.
I really like going in on bills and seeing who voted for what, because you can in most cases.
Just their voting record is interesting to me. Like, I don't remember. Oh, Elizabeth Warren. She had like a 60% voting record or something like that.
She didn't vote 60% of the time?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's
Or
not like
40% of the time?
Yeah, she didn't vote 40% of the time. That's their job. That's their freaking job, is to go vote on this stuff. Could you imagine doing 40% of your job?
Imagine going to work and only working 60% of the time you're there, but staying clocked in and sitting around doing nothing. Like
and making six figures.
Exactly. Yeah.
Multi six figures.
Yeah, not
And
just
then-
barely six figures.
It would be the best thing to be able to regulate how much I made. Wouldn't that be awesome?
I would agree.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty dope.
I would rather put term limits in and then lower their pay to encourage people who actually care to get into government. You look at some of these career politicians who've been there 20 years, they have multi-million net worths.
Yes.
Like, why were you able to accumulate all
Joe
this
Biden's
money?
been in for what, over 40?
Yeah.
He's been in there for a while.
Yeah. He's been in there for a long time. Why is he still in there? Like, not that I have any personal like animosity towards the guy, but
actually, you know what? I do have personal animosity.
Okay, I do. I was trying to be nonpartisan, but personally, I do have a lot of beef. Especially his the crime bill from, was it 1994 or something like that? 91.
Yeah, it was in early 90s.
Early 90s, he wrote a crime bill, and this thing is where we got no-knock raids from, I'm pretty sure. That could be wrong. Actually, I'm probably wrong on that, but I don't like the crime bill he wrote. How long are we at? Oh, we are almost over.
Ooh.
Okay, we're going to get back to this
Yes.
right as soon as we start the recording again.
All right, so we're back. We did a little bit of goggling, as it were. And no, the Joe Biden's law bill that he wrote was in 1994. It did not include no-knock raids, but it did lead to a lot of mass incarceration.
Ironically, it's minorities. They found that like black and brown people were discriminated against in that.
I believe it was mostly like a war on drugs type thing too. So
yeah. It's really contested, but
yeah, honestly,
backwards.
what was your guys' opinions on the 420 marijuana?
On marijuana?
On marijuana in general?
Yeah.
Legalize it because people are going to use it anyway and then charge taxes on it.
Yeah, I think
I don't think the government should own it.
I don't think the
What do you
government
mean
would own it.
Like charge taxes on, are you just talking in general to like sales taxes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's called an excise tax.
I thought you meant like
because
the
like
government
alcohol and-
gets the
Oh
payment
no,
or-
no!
okay.
I think it should be privatized.
Oh,
but
yeah.
they should
Like
pay like
Marlboro,
like
they can sell cigarettes. They should have Marlboro weed. I don't know.
I don't really know how it works. All that I know is like people are going to do it regardless. If we can keep people safer by having weed regulated,
Yeah.
and also if we can make money off of this, that's kind of what I'm about. Because then we can plant real trees.
But also, like,
You know, hemp is an amazing plant.
It is. It was
Yeah, it is.
actually it makes paper better than like wood, but
It makes
logging
plastics,
companies,
papers.
didn't want
You can
it to
make
happen.
clothes with it. You can make all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Okay, but back to
you can
why
feed
I
pigs with
don't
it.
like Joe Biden.
Yeah, we gotta get
Okay,
back to
because we
that.
stopped here. Okay. One of my biggest concerns with Joe Biden is he's got a lot of accusers. And a lot of people, like you've heard the Creepy Joe thing. I mean, it might be Trump kind of, it might be Trump kind of like brandishing him with that name. But bro.
He says Sleepy Joe. He doesn't say Creepy Joe. That's
does he
everyone
not?
else.
Oh, well, dude, he's kind of creepy.
It's kind of creepy.
The people who have came out with allegations of sexual assault, that terrifies me. And what terrifies me a little bit more is Kamala Harris, his vice president pick, by the way. She called him out in the primaries saying that they should believe his accuser. Now, when she was asked about it in another interview, she laughed about it. And
It was a debate.
Well, how much?
yeah,
was
that's
a
exactly what
debate.
she did. And like I don't care if it's a debate. Someone being sexually assaulted is not a political wedge issue.
Yeah.
You're freaking evil if you think that's a wedge issue.
Yeah, but people will say the same thing about Trump. So at this point, it really doesn't matter. They
Yeah.
both have that against them.
Yeah, they
but your
definitely do.
own VP
Yeah,
was accusing
But then again,
you.
does Biden even remember that happening?
I don't know. Yeah,
his campaign managers do.
I'm sure they don't care. They're just in it for
did
the
you see
money.
that Pelosi's trying to get Biden to not
Do the debates?
do the debates.
Oh my gosh.
I don't remember
I've been waiting
who-
for this moment since like,
the beginning
of the end.
I don't remember who made the comment, but someone was just like watching Trump debate Biden would be like watching Mike Tyson box a 3-year-old.
He just
I mean, you got to
like,
give it to the guy. He can like verbally assault people to the point where they feel like crap.
He can. And Joe Biden just he doesn't speak well anymore. He did. He was an excellent public speaker. I'll give him that.
Yep.
But I think in the last year or two, he is just not spoken as well.
Well, he's been hiding in his basement for the past.
He's also like
too.
what 70? He's in the late 70s, isn't he?
I think so.
70. I think he's 76.
Let's check it.
Yeah, go ahead and check that. But I don't know. Kamala Harris, I really don't like Kamala Harris because she's
77.
She's the one who locked people up for weed charges and then joked about smoking weed in interviews. Who does that? I don't even smoke weed myself.
She would withhold evidence to get people incarcerated that were innocent.
So what did she do exactly? I'm kind of shady on her role. I've heard about the bad things that she's done like within her role, but I don't know what her title was. If that
I think it was Attorney General of California. I think that's
really?
what it was.
She's from California. God, it just gets worse.
Let's see here.
Job. Okay, let's see.
She was a district attorney in San Francisco.
District attorney. Okay.
And the 23rd Attorney General, AG, in California. Other things she's pushed the DREAM Act. She's pushed a ban on assault weapons and a progressive tax reform.
People know that like an assault weapon is not an AR, right? Like an AR-15 does not stand for assault rifle 15.
You also know that
it stands for Armalite 15.
Yeah. AR-15 is Armalite Model 15.
Yeah.
You guys also remember that Columbine happened during the weapons assault ban during Bill Clinton? Yeah, it really helps to stop violence, doesn't it?
You know, I don't know. Like, people can say that there's no need to have an AR-15, but until you shoot one and like, if you enjoy it, man. I mean,
AR-15 is just like any other semi-auto rifle.
Yeah, but don't tell people that. I don't want them to go after the other semi-autos.
But how?
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
I mean,
can it?
most shootings are with handguns.
Don't say that either.
Dude, I mean,
it's true.
You just got to put it out there because they're going to want to ban everything. And if that's the case, then it's obviously going to be against the Second Amendment.
Now, if we want to get a little tinfoil hat action.
Okay, tinfoil hat.
Of course, they want to ban the AR-15. It's light. It's easy to shoot. It's very easy to shoot. It's cheap to buy or
modular.
Build. It's easy to modify, and ammo's cheap. Like, if the citizenry are to defend themselves from attackers, whether it be foreign or domestic, that's kind of the best thing to go for.
Not even that. It's the most popular rifle in America.
Yeah.
Is it really?
It is.
By far.
I thought
there are millions
like
upon millions of ARs in this state. I think there's like what, 56 million guns in the country.
If you want to get rid of guns, that would be the one to go get rid of because everyone wants one.
But then again,
that's a good point.
If you look at California, they have all these assault weapon bans. You can still get AR-15s. They're mutilated heavily, but you can still get them.
I don't understand the whole pistol grip thing. If my hand's like this versus like this, is that going to save lives?
No, not necessarily. I mean, the thinking is...
These are no nonsense freaking...
The thinking is like a pistol grip, it just looks scary.
It looks scary.
Same with the forward grip. It looks scary. Ooh.
You ever see the thing where Steven Crowder, he had like a bunch of wooden guns and a bunch of like assault type guns, and he would just like lead people
and ask them what they think is
what, get rid of those, right? He was pretending to have like a petition to ban assault weapons.
This was years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, years ago. And literally he was just giving bull crap to people, trying to sway him one way into banning the assault weapons, and people had no idea what they were doing. Yeah. And same thing with Democrats. They have no idea. They don't like guns.
I think most lawmakers that push gun laws don't understand how they work and why people want them.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with that. And
Joe Biden's AR-14.
There was a local...
If there is one, I want it.
There was a local gun shop that for a little while on their sign they had AR-14s half off.
That's great. That's so funny.
So
it was good.
His notion of guns in general is to protect yourself. You buy a shotgun, right? You know, he thinks that the only thing that the Second Amendment is for is hunting, and then that's not the case.
No, the Second Amendment was written for the sheer fact of if the government becomes too powerful, like a certain tyrannical British government that charged too much taxes.
And we threw that tea in the ocean. They deserved it.
Yeah, but we got our butts kicked. But we won.
But we won.
But it was a rough one.
We had to get like tactical a little bit there.
Guerrilla warfare.
Yeah.
That wasn't even tactical. That was just fighting dirty. But like, they did not intend for, you can just have a musket. No, they knew that governments have the tendency to get too powerful and like be tyrannical.
So what about the notion that, you're going to fight the government with your little AR-15? Is that going to be enough? We have
no, but the sheer
Tomahawk
fact
missiles.
that let's say that like the sheer fact that if every American had an AR-15, dude, the government wouldn't win still, even with their Tomahawk missiles. Not to mention, the military is part of the American populace. I have a hard time believing
that the patriots would turn on their own people.
They're not gonna launch Tomahawk missile at the people they rely on to pay taxes.
Yeah, we could all just stop paying taxes.
I think we should. Taxation is theft.
I understand the need for taxes, but when I hear this stuff about like, they spent $200 million on the investigating Trump or investigating a Democrat, don't care. It's worthless. If there's no like fact base on it and they come out $200 million later with no evidence, don't do it. You know what? Maybe spend $5 million. And at $5 million, if you spent that much money and can't find anything, there's probably not anything, and you're just going to waste my money.
Okay.
Like, plant some trees, man.
So if you want to hear something that's going to make you angry? There's a scandal because the Air Force spent $1,280 on a coffee cup.
What? It's because they had to use their
surplus or whatever.
No. It's the budget. They have to use their budget, or otherwise it goes away. So they just probably spent it on.
Yeah,
something.
but like,
why not just buy a gun for like a service?
$1,300 for a coffee cup. Yeah, why not buy some new M4s instead of
the ones from Vietnam?
Well, no, M4s are the new ones. M16s are the Vietnam ones.
It probably wasn't just like M4s? Air Force in general.
Yeah. It was. Sorry, what?
It was probably like a certain department had a budget.
Oh, I'm sure, but it just seems kind of silly. Like if you're gonna spend that much money, like why not? Yeah, why not
buy something kind of needed,
or I don't know, invest in some new body armor, just components,
or not have a system that requires you to spend all the money.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's that's better. I like that more.
And I don't know, man.
That is the thing that bothers me with the government is government programs can't fail the same way that a privatized business can. So you can have
a post office.
Yeah, you can have something like I don't know, a post office that is just hemorrhaging taxpayer money,
so much
and
money,
it can't fail because it's a government system. And then people are like, I want other things to be owned by the government. I'm like, I don't want that to become a massive money pit as well.
Yeah. I don't know.
If that makes
guns
sense.
Thing, like, I don't know. I like guns. I grew up around guns. I learned how to handle guns. I learned that a gun on its own is not bad. A dangerous person with a gun is a bad thing.
I would say, personally, I personally think that a well-intentioned person with a gun is far less dangerous than the person with ill intent who is unarmed.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I mean, you have so many people that have concealed carries that go to work or do whatever every day and they're carrying a pistol. You don't know that they are, but that person's never gone crazy and shot someone, Well,
most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time. There's a few exceptions.
There's a stat like if you have a concealed carry and you actually, carry, you're way less likely to commit any crime at all.
Well, it's because they do a background check on you like every night.
Well, not even that. It's if any of you ever get around to it, or if you have, you'll know. When you take the concealed carry class, doesn't matter what state you're in, they will pretty much tell you that if you're carrying, like you gotta be very confrontational.
Yeah.
Because like even if you get in an argument and there's some pushing and shoving and you're carrying, you're probably gonna go to jail just for being in a conflict and like a conflict of in between persons and having a firearm on you. Like if you carry, you got to be very much just like, you know what, it's not worth it. I'm gonna walk away.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, which is
it's a lot of like
responsibility.
Yeah. People who study martial arts.
Yeah, that too.
Same thing.
Yeah. Which I think most people probably should be that way anyway. But
I agree. Do you know how much better the world would be if two people came to fists and then said, hey, wait a minute, let's think about this really quick. Like, you did this that pissed me off. I probably overreacted. You probably shouldn't have acted that way, but I shouldn't have reacted the same way I did.
Yeah.
Well, in martial arts, especially like jiu-jitsu, I like jiu-jitsu.
Do you know of any other martial arts? Like, you're the jiu-jitsu man.
I like it. Boxing is interesting, but jiu-jitsu is really interesting because, someone my size could take on someone else a different size if I had a higher belt.
I like Hapkido. I like all the joint locks and stuff. It's pretty
Keto's
fun.
pretty sick. Yeah.
If you can actually do that in real life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pull like a Ty Lee.
Anyways,
yeah.
That's a
you're
good reference.
like Joe Rogan. I watch his show a lot. He talks about jujitsu, and literally you are, being put to death multiple times a day. And that's what's the great about jujitsu is that you don't get hurt.
Yeah.
If you're wrestling with someone without malintent, but you practice, all these things, and you get put in your place. So there's lots of humility with that. Every time you.
That's why cops
Basically-
don't like jujitsu.
Well, maybe, yeah.
They just get laid out by some high schooler doing like jujitsu, and they're supposed to be this big, strong cop.
Yeah, and then like some little kid gets them.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the whole point of jiu-jitsu is using your opponent's
leverage.
momentum.
It's leverage and
weight.
yeah. But
Okay, so clearly we all kind of like support gun rights and everything.
Yeah.
But the thing that happened in Kenosha,
Yep.
what do you guys think about that?
What's his name?
I don't know if we can talk about that. I don't know if we can talk about that. We probably shouldn't.
I think we can.
Why?
I don't think we should.
If we get taken down, we get taken down. Like, I don't care. If YouTube wants to take us down, that's fine. But, okay. With that, what do you guys think about that?
Have you guys watched all the footage?
Yes.
I tried to at least. All the footage I could find.
Personally, I think that it was self-defense.
I think so too.
So does the New York Times.
Exactly.
The
Yep.
New York Times said that?
Yeah, they
Yes.
Holy cow.
If you watch the videos, the two of the individuals who were shot were fighting with Kyle Rittenhouse before. They tried to grab his gun, and that's why he started to leave. As he's running, there are 5 shots heard.
Did they ever find who was it? The guy who tried to that pulled the gun on him in the end that
Well,
shot those 5, or did they figure out who it was? I don't know.
As far as I know, they don't know. Kyle turned and fired 4 shots. In the videos, he fires 4. Interestingly enough, the first guy he shot, I don't remember his name, was shot 5 times, and one of them was from the back. I don't know where that 5th shot came from.
Really?
Yes. If you look at the coroner's
Wasn't
report,
that the guy with all like the sex
That was the sex
charges on him?
offender. Yep.
Yes.
The pedophile, right?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't even pedophilia. It was like, or it wasn't even sex offending. It was like pedophilia, right?
Yeah. Did what he loves. He died doing what he loved best, chasing minors. It's a meme. Don't get mad at me. It's just the truth.
Oh.
I'm okay. That being said, I don't think that these people, even though they had terrible pasts and personally, I think they're degenerates and horrible individuals. I don't think that means they necessarily deserve to be shot. But if you're going to chase somebody with a rifle, or as the saying goes, don't chase a man with a rifle. You might catch him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like to take a step back of whether these shootings were in self-defense or not, should he have showed up at a rally with an AR-15?
No.
I don't agree
Well-
either. Like, yeah, I don't think he should have.
His intents were, excuse me. His intents were, there's literally pictures of him cleaning
He'd
graffiti
been there in
and
the
things like.
daytime cleaning graffiti.
I heard that he was applying like first aid. To
Yeah,
like,
he was
protesters
at-
too.
Yeah.
Even. Yeah.
Yeah,
he was-
anybody.
Yeah, basically protesters,
protesters,
anyone that was there.
Yeah.
But also then again, would you be out there giving medical aid to people and not have a rifle in the middle of a riot?
Personally,
I don't know if I would.
I wouldn't go there. That's my
Yeah.
thing. Unarmed or
armed.
Because I don't want to end up like the Trump supporter who got
Exactly.
shot.
In Portland, yeah, that's a whole nother.
If I
The Trump supporter didn't do anything though. He didn't have a rifle.
Yeah, he was just walking.
standing
So
there.
That's a totally different
argument
case.
that they're saying is, I'm just saying I would never go to a place like that
No.
because I don't want to get shot.
He worked there. He worked in Kenosha.
Yeah.
That was his job.
But like would you show up with an AR-15 looking for trouble at like 10 o'clock at night though?
He's not looking for trouble. He was there all day.
Yeah, he'd been there all day.
I don't
It
know.
was the other two looking for
And
trouble.
the rifle was his buddies and never left the state of Wisconsin.
Okay, so they didn't get him. So there's no validity behind like the gun laws crossing state, right?
Well,
as
okay.
far as I know.
So he lived out of state.
okay,
But
But
It's
it's
just
20
across
minutes.
the border, yeah.
It's like going from
our house to
I was just going from Salt Lake to like South Jordan.
yeah,
Like it's
That
not
makes
that
sense.
far.
gave that away.
I can believe it.
I think it's 2 in the state actually.
No, there's one in California.
Oh, is there? No,
It's the
never mind.
inferior one.
Right. Anyway, we can bleep that out.
Yeah.
Bleep it both times. Anyway, I don't think he should have been there. I don't think.
No, I don't think he should have.
But at the same time,
I kind of support his right to
yeah, I support anybody's right to go and
defend your job site.
I also defend people's right to protest. I think that is important. First Amendment is very
I
important.
agree. Yeah.
But to sit there and say that he's terrible for being there. It's like, not necessarily.
I think he's stupid.
I think he's stupid. But then again, I think about it like if someone was coming to burn down my town, would I just sit at home? Probably not.
But okay, think of it as like if it was Ogden, so not where we're at.
Yeah.
Would you go? Like you have a job in Ogden, but like, or I guess yours isn't, but like you have a job in Ogden.
Assuming I did, I don't know if I'd go to defend my place of work. I don't know if I care enough personally.
I don't know.
But if they're in my neighborhood, oh yeah.
Yeah, in my neighborhood, I definitely would. But like, I don't think I'd get in
If there was a
car.
riot outside my house and they started like trying to get in my house, I would start shooting for sure.
Oh yeah. And I think you're 100% justified to.
Utah state laws, he would be justified.
We have
if they were
castle doctrine.
coming- Yeah.
So yeah. But I don't think he should have been there, but also like,
I support his right to be there.
yeah, I support his right to be there.
But I also support, like you said, the right of the protesters.
Yeah, I mean, but also like
Not
once
they
it becomes
were
a
not
riot,
protesting; they were rioting. They were burning the city
Yes.
down.
The scary-
Multiple places were on fire at the
Yeah.
same time.
The scariest
CNN couldn't freaking show an image without a fire in it.
Okay, and like I understand that.
Fiery but non-violent protests.
Like, God, did you see that?
Yes.
Oh,
But also, like, if you're gonna go do a protest and you have to, you bring a gun with you. I don't think you're going to a protest.
you're going to a riot.
I don't think
Yeah.
you're peaceful. Yeah, I mean, and that goes for Kyle too. I don't think you're going to protest if you have a rifle on you.
No.
But then
Or
again,
Molotov cocktails
if someone
or-
tries to, if you were out open carrying, okay, this is the other thing too. People like to say like, oh, he can't open carry. There is in Wisconsin, I've looked it up. You can't open carry until you're 18. But there's an exemption for 16 and 17-year-olds. They can open carry rifles and shotguns because hunting is a thing. They cannot open carry handguns. That's not until you're an adult.
Okay,
So,
open carry. Is it like Utah where you basically, if you're open carry, you have to be 2 actions? So you basically have to, you can't have
believe
one in the
so.
chamber. You have
I
to
believe
rack
so.
it and then safety and then shoot.
yeah, but that can be done really quickly.
Yeah, especially on an AR.
Sub-second, you can do it.
But like, I don't know.
But then again, if
It's
someone
such
tries to grab your rifle.
It's not a good situation.
It's such a mess. But in self-defense doctrine, though, the problem with, even if you're at one of these crazy riots and some guy attacks you and you're like, okay, well, I can shoot at these protesters. If you shoot a protester who wasn't rioting and wasn't a threat to your safety, like
Yeah.
an immediate threat, you're going to jail for murder.
Absolutely. But the thing with this case is
He didn't hit
there
anybody.
were shots fired before he turned and fired.
Yeah, and what scared the crap out of me, dude, this guy's shooting 223 into a crowd. That was terrifying to me because if he
that
misses,
dude's bicep exploded.
Well, that's okay. Like, once again, going down the timeline, after he shoots the first guy, he starts booking it again. And then he trips. A dude runs up. I don't know.
no,
I'm
he
not
got
sure.
pushed to the ground.
Did he get pushed?
Yeah, he got pushed.
Okay, I'm not sure if the guy hit
It
him with a
looks like he
skateboard.
tripped to me.
Yeah.
But
Did he trip? Okay, I thought he was pushed.
there was a guy with a skateboard trying to hit him
Hit
upside the head.
and that's the guy. And,
And
the second
that's the second guy that got shot and killed.
Okay.
After he shot that guy, a third ran up with a handgun, and then that's when he became the Kenosha bicep blaster.
Okay, and like to put myself in the position of the guy with the handgun that ran after him. Okay, self-defense doctrine. If I'm running in, that's not self-defense anymore, right?
it's not.
Yeah.
If you're running, especially if,
Like,
if
if you're the
Kyle was on the
aggressor.
ground being hit and he fires, that is self-defense because he's being attacked and he's on the ground.
Yeah.
And also just, I don't know, common sense doctrine, not even self-defense. I'm not going to run up to a guy with my handgun drawn if he's on the ground with a rifle.
He wasn't.
And has
I
already
don't think
fired.
he was on the ground when he shot the last guy.
I'm pretty sure he was.
was.
Was he? Okay,
Yeah, he
I thought
was.
he was back up for some
No,
reason.
he was sitting up, but he wasn't on his feet.
Yeah,
But then
he
again,
was
like I would
paintballing it.
I would not run up to somebody if they're on the ground and they have a rifle and they feel threatened. I am not getting anywhere near you.
Tell you what, yeah, the guy with the skateboard, what a brave dude, man. Like, brave or
idiot.
stupid. Because, like,
Don't bring a skateboard to a gunfight.
you got to have stones, though. A guy that just shot someone with an AR-15, you're going to run up to him.
But that being said, skateboards. Once again, I used to be really into skateboarding when I was younger and less fat.
Not fat.
Trucks are heavy, so the axles, these things are heavy.
They could.
You can crack someone's skull open with one of those if you try hard enough. Like it's a weapon.
That and, like, I don't know. I don't think the answer was to, like, fight violence with violence, you know?
No.
And
I don't think he intended that, but
no, I don't think Kyle Rittenhouse did either. I think he brought it because he saw the entire freaking city burning
Yeah.
and thought, I don't want to end up dead, which I don't know. Did you guys ever hear if the taking down the GoFundMe for him, was that legit? Did they
Yeah,
really?
took it down.
yeah, they took it down.
But they left up the GoFundMe for the 3 guys who got shot.
How is
Who
it
are the
any different?
aggressors? Yeah.
I mean, they're a private company. They can do what they want, but that's
I
frustrating.
heard Kyle Rittenhouse was Hispanic.
Yeah, that too.
There also was a video that came out about him like beating the crap out of some girl.
Oh, she was fighting him too. It was both ways.
Yeah, but
I think they're both in the wrong there. I don't know. Personally,
He probably wasn't right in the head at some point, but
personally, I don't know. No matter, I don't know. Like even if like a girl was attacking my girlfriend, I would separate her and get her the hell away from her.
No,
but I would never jump in and beat the crap out of a girl.
Look,
I couldn't do that.
If someone, I don't care what gender you are, touched my pregnant wife, I would freaking kill them.
Here's my thing.
He wouldn't kill him, but he'd defend.
I'd be very angry and would want to kill them.
Here's my thing. I am an advocate of true gender equality. I don't care what's between your legs. You attack me, I'm going to knock you out. I don't care. I couldn't care less. If you're going to attack me, you're toast.
See, and like I don't think I'd take it to the point where like the Rettenhouse dude did, where he was just like beating the crap.
Yeah, that's much far.
Like I'd come in like maybe a sucker, something like that. Just bam, get them back. You know, but once they're back and they're stopping, okay, you're stopped. We're good. No, there's no reason for me to keep going.
Yeah,
and it looked like the video that I saw of him was like, Derek.
But also, isn't it funny that they're gonna, look how bad this kid was. He was fighting a girl, and they're not gonna point out the registered sex offender that was chasing the minor.
The pedophile.
Yeah.
Registered sex offending is horrible to me, but pedophilia just makes it
I don't know.
even more
like
sick.
If we're like, once again, I don't think that any of these people with their, because all three people who were shot also had federal offenses, right? They're all
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I'm pretty sure that's what
I've heard that.
I'm pretty sure that's what the New York Times article had said, at least. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but that's what I've heard. I know
research.
Do research.
I know at least one of the other two people who'd been shot had been previously arrested for illegally possessing a firearm and being drunk.
Scary combination.
Yeah, very. Yeah, cars and alcohol and guns and alcohol are terrible.
Yeah.
Just saying. But once again, I think it's such a bad situation. I don't think he should have put himself in it. But at the same time, I'm not going to fault him for it.
I support his right for wanting to go defend, like, I guess his community, you know?
Yeah, you could argue that it's,
Like, I support that he had the right to do that.
There's a video of him running around with a fire extinguisher too.
Is there really? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, dude, the kid did not seem like he went there with ill intentions, and they charged him with what, first-degree murder?
Yeah, I thought
that was premeditated. Like
the third degree is premeditated.
Oh, it's third degree premeditated?
So.
Oh, okay.
Let me do some goggle.
Yeah, do some goggling, but like, yeah, I don't know. That kind of shocked me, and I hate that they made a lot of these. Like, I guess they said you're guilty of this crime, or like not guilty, but they're going to try him with this crime. I hate that they did it out of appeasement of a crowd. I think it should be based off of evidence, not appeasement.
Yeah, that's what's
so. Yeah, first degree is premeditated, second degree is not, but is intentional, and third degree is manslaughter. So I was wrong. You're right.
Yeah, so first degree is the worst.
Okay, I thought so, but like, which I don't know. That's really extreme. If it was premeditated, where he planned to go do it, wouldn't he have not provided aid to people and stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I don't think it's gonna stick.
I mean, he had the gun. Might as well just start shooting at that point.
Exactly. So I don't think premeditated is gonna stick.
I don't know.
I think it was a complete self-defense thing. Which my thought is, if I went to that area, I would want a gun on me. But my thought about that thought is, if I'm going to go to an area where I'm like, okay, I definitely need a gun here, I'm just not going to go to that area.
Yeah.
That's my thought. That I don't want to put myself in that situation.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. The whole situation is just bad. And I hate how people are trying to politicize it.
They are.
Do you see that video of the guy who was like putting the fires out in his business in Kenosha?
No, I didn't.
The old guy who got whacked in the back of the head.
Yeah, some big guy freaking just whack on the back of his head, knocked him out.
And the thing that drives me crazy is, like, you see all this footage every single riot for the last 3 months. Nobody seems to care. And
I think
keep
a lot of
pushing
people do.
peaceful protest.
It's shown in the polls.
Yeah,
Don Lemon said it himself.
Is. Also, that's the other thing too about the Rittenhouse case is, like, you expect to burn down people's cities and not have someone come out with a gun.
Which I wonder when it's going to move to the suburbs. That's what scares me.
That's when there's going to be some serious bloodshed. I don't want to fearmonger, and I really do not want that to happen. Please do not do that. But if they go to people's houses, I'm not going to feel bad for you if you're pounding on someone's door and they blast some buckshot through the door into your face. I'm sorry.
Buckshot to go through a door?
Probably.
Buckshot?
Buckshot? Probably.
Buckshot.
It depends on the door.
Yeah,
like the steel-plated doors, no.
But like wooden doors, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't want that to happen. I really don't want that to happen. But I'm afraid we're going to get there if things don't stop.
Yeah. Which we're going to unfortunately have to stop, take a little break. We'll be back in a few minutes. All right. Okay, so we're back from our little break.
Yeah, once again, I don't want violence. None of us here want violence.
Nobody wants violence.
I'm pretty sure if I ever have to defend myself, I'm going to need some extensive therapy.
I agree with that, man. Like,
I don't know, dude. I value life very highly. I don't even want people to get hurt, much less die, but like...
We need a good lawyer too.
Yeah, I hear that too. But like, honestly, like, I don't know. If you're going to threaten somebody else, like, I can't defend you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think moving it to the suburbs too, which there are a few videos
cases.
of people
it's happened
that are trying to move there.
In Oregon, and I believe around Chicago it's happened.
You know, and I have a friend who applied to PA school, and they got an interview out there, and I was just like, would you want to go? Like, I don't know. I hear that Portland's trashed. Like, I heard it's not even recognizable.
Yeah.
Which... I don't know, the taking it to the suburbs thing that a lot of, I can't say a lot of people, but I have seen videos of it. Quite frankly, like, I have a pretty stark reaction to that because that scares the crap out of me. That is terrifying because you're not targeting an ideology anymore. You're targeting people. That's scary, man. Don't go burn people's houses. Like, a lot of these people.
It's definitely going to get more violent if you do that.
Yeah. The second you threaten someone's family is the second that person will do anything.
That, and you know, dude, peaceful protest. I am all about a peaceful protest.
Yep.
You know what? You want to protest inequality within like the justice system. You're going to get out there with a picket sign. I'll make a sign. I'll come march with you.
Honestly, like,
I am totally down. I want equal rights for you too. I don't want you to hurt people though.
Yeah.
And there have been 30. There's over 30 now. I don't know.
Over 30 people have been killed in these riots over the course of the last 3 months. And the thing is, it's the old libertarian saying, you know, I may disagree with you, but I will defend your right to say it.
I agree.
I'm very much on that boat, but once again, the second you violate the NAP, the non-aggression principle, no, sorry, no more sympathies from me.
Yeah, it's scary, man. Like, I couldn't imagine being the videos of the people that are in the cars or something like that, and they get surrounded, and like the protesters start beating in on the windshields and stuff, and you just hear like the kids screaming, like the dude's wife is screaming. Could you imagine being in that situation? Dude, that terrifies me to think about that.
Did you just ever see the video of the white guy? I don't even think he was a Trump supporter. It was just a white guy, and the kid
walking across the street.
Yeah, walking across the street, and the kid came up to him, hit him in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Oh,
this guy just dropped.
Yeah, as you would.
But then again, like, what is that accomplishing? Really,
it's making me.
It was
not
hashtag White Lives Don't Matter.
Cause.
Yeah, and then that's the thing too. Is like the more you push this stuff, the more legitimately racist people you're going to create. If you keep targeting,
I can see that for sure.
Yeah, I think we're seeing it.
I agree.
It makes me really sad because honestly, like, once again, kind of going off the joke I was making earlier, I don't care what you look like. I don't care what's between your legs. I couldn't care less. If you have good ideas, great. If you have bad ideas, I'm going to make fun of you for it. That's all it is. And I hate this idea of like, I hate you because you're a certain color. I hate you because you're white. I hate you because you're brown. I don't care what someone is.
I think you'd have to be really uneducated to think that.
That are really hateful.
Yeah. But man, like, how could, I don't know. I don't understand how you could say that someone's lesser by the color of their skin. Like, how stupid would you have to be to think that?
Exactly.
I don't get that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and like the saying, like, some lives don't matter or some lives, I don't get the whole like, oh, well, if you say all lives matter, you're bad. Like, who cares?
What kind of twisted world do we live in where we saying, oh yeah, all lives matter is actually a racist thing?
I mean, I get it. Some people will argue like, oh, it's because you just don't want to support Black Lives Matter. I'm like, I get that argument, but at the same time, it's like, dude, if you're killing people, if you're attacking people, I don't care who's what color. I mean, I think it's all bad.
There's plenty of violence in the name of Black Lives Matter at this point. I think it's okay.
It's yeah, and I don't know, man. I know a lot of I have a lot of friends that are minorities, and that aren't black. And they feel left out of it. And they're like, I don't think I experience the same rights as white people. Like, I feel like I'm discriminated against, but
right.
Why are my rights not important to be fought for right now? And like, I have some Asian friends who say that, and some Latino friends who say the same.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like, I think saying all lives matter, I think that encompasses white, which people don't like that because they think that everybody's white privileged. But I really think that I don't know. I think that it also includes those other minorities.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like, I think I agree that like there's probably a lot of discrimination that goes on out there. I think it's a little bit selfish to focus on one part of discrimination instead of saying let's tackle discrimination as a whole and say that all discrimination's bad.
Honestly, like okay, I just want to clear this up. I have no problem saying Black Lives Matter. Of course they do.
Of course. Yeah.
Anyone who says, "Oh, well, you couldn't say it," like I can say it, and it's stupid to think that I don't think that. Like,
yeah.
But I think a lot of these problems, especially with like wealth inequality, if you target it by class, by tax bracket, you're going to disproportionately help minorities.
Yeah.
So instead of making it a race thing, just make it a class thing. And you know what I mean? Because you're going to disproportionately help minorities. Rather than making it a race thing, just make it a class thing. And then anybody across the spectrum who needs that help will get that help regardless of what they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, the Black Lives Matter is police specific.
Well, I know,
but
they push other things too.
Yeah, but
yeah,
I mean, police go after like, especially like Mexicans here.
Yeah.
Like the police really go after the Mexicans. They have pretty high incarceration rates.
And there are definitely problems in the justice system. I'm not going to deny that.
Our justice system sucks.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it does suck.
it does what it is designed to do.
I mean, yeah.
Not well.
I don't know. It's Blackstone's formulation, or it should be, the whole idea that it's better that 10 guilty persons escape than one innocent suffer. Doesn't happen.
Which I think is so unfortunate, man. Yeah.
But it should. And I think we can get there, but I don't think burning everything down is the best way to get there either.
Yeah. And
here's the analogy I've come up with. If you're trying to cut some logs and your axe is blunt, I'm not going to throw away my axe and go get a shovel. I'm just going to sharpen the axe. I'm going to improve what I already have.
I think that's smarter.
Not throw it out and grab something that was not designed or tested to do the job you need it to do.
Yeah. Okay. What do you guys think about the people that say Trump is causing this divide though?
That's so...
That he's
so
the one
dumb.
causing the violence.
Trump derangement syndrome.
It's a real thing.
GDS.
It's so real.
Because
Last time I checked, Trump supporters weren't the ones doing this.
yeah,
Also,
Now, you could say they were encouraging the violence with their militias or whatever, but
I don't know. I think that the militias, as much as I don't support grouping up with a bunch of firearms because I don't think that's a good idea, unless you're hunting or ski shooting, which is awesome.
yes,
but,
or you're going to the range.
You're going to the range. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, it's cool.
But like going to basically like drive through town with a bunch of ARs and stuff like that, or like pistols or whatever, shotguns even, whatever you're going to use, I don't think that's a good idea.
No.
I support the right to do it though.
Yeah, I think it's dumb, but like if you want to do it, I'm not going to stop
But
you.
that's the same thing that I think about rioting and looting and burning. I think it's stupid. And that one, I don't think you're legally. You don't have a legal right to do it.
Yeah, I mean,
What you're doing is illegal.
Like we've said it 1,000 times. I'm all for if you want to protest the justice system, police brutality, whatever, go for it. But if you're going to infringe on the rights of other people, no. You don't care about people. You don't care about lives. If you're going to hurt somebody who has nothing to do with what happened.
Yeah, I agree with that. Do you think his tweets are divisive though?
I think
I'm not on Twitter.
Do you never see his tweets get shared?
Honestly, I think Trump's very smart with his Twitter. There's several things he's passed.
He controls
but it's the
medium.
best diversion tactic. Like, I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying it's amazing what he does with it.
He's smart.
He'll tweet something outrageous and then pass a bill. Everyone's complaining about his tweet. And no one notices what he just passed.
The funny part is if he wins again, his last term, he's gonna say that lame duck period as he's leaving. He's gonna be like, I hope you guys know I've been tweeting this obscure bull crap for the past 8 years just so I can pass these bills without having people.
I doubt he'll ever say it. He doesn't need to.
I think he might because Trump's a troll.
They're gonna be so angry about so much.
He is a freaking troll.
I don't think he's ever gonna tell them. I think he's just gonna be like, yep, I'm gonna let them just not even notice. It's better than never see it. Personally, I think what he's going to do, but I think he is very divisive on Twitter. That being said,
that kind of pisses me off.
But he has gotten better over the last.
He's mellowed.
He's gotten better.
He has mellowed.
Yeah, he probably doesn't stay up. He's probably tired, so he doesn't stay up on the toilet
he's probably
at night anymore.
On as much speed.
Yeah,
that guy. But I think that he kind of failed in his role of president of saying something to unify.
Oh, absolutely. But then again,
I don't think that the other side's candidates are doing it either, though. I think honestly, like as much as like I know you guys probably aren't the biggest Obama fans, Obama came out with a statement at the start of the George Floyd riots that basically I really liked what he said. We'll have to like pull it up sometime. He basically said like, hey, like I support your guys' right to peaceful protest.
He's taking a very middle of the road stance on it.
He took a pretty middle of the road standpoint. He said, we have to, at this point, like you guys have to get out and vote because that's how true change is going to happen. Yeah. And at the end, like, I'm completely paraphrasing here. Like you'll have to go read the post that he made, but he basically kind of condoned the rioting and said, what you're doing isn't going to work.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe
it hasn't worked for, when did Black Lives Matter start? Was it 2016?
It was under his watch. It was under Obama's watch. It was, I believe, 2014. 2015.
Yeah, which I don't know. I don't think rioting is going to help. I think protests help, which
peaceful protests help.
Yeah, yes. So peaceful protests help. So there's been a protest going across the nation for a month now. What's the hashtag for the children thing?
Save the children.
Hashtag save the children.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna let Braden tell this.
So, what if I told you that the U.S. Marshals found 39 missing kids in Atlanta, Georgia, about 6 days ago?
That's double digits. 39 kids. That's 39 people.
In case you're wondering, I'm getting this information from usmarshals.gov. Why is there no big news coverage of it? I've searched. Most of the coverage I've found is local, Atlanta news.
I'd say USA Today is probably the biggest one that we've seen.
But like MSNBC, CNN, even Fox, like no one's covering it. Why?
Okay. So Braden, I think you have a reason of why they're not covering it though, right?
Yeah. Well, this is real tinfoil hatty and I don't know how like hard I can go, but.
Okay. So tinfoil hat. So none of this is ground in stone.
No, but then again, like, isn't it weird how we have the Epstein stuff and now Ghislaine Maxwell, all this sex trafficking ring. We might have to bleep that out, actually. We have all this happening, and all of a sudden these people who run these media companies don't want talk of U.S. Marshals finding kids and arresting people for human trafficking. Isn't it funny how we have all these celebrities on the flight logs to Epstein's Island, and no one wants to talk about it anymore? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big conspiracy guy, but it does bother me. It really does bother me. And I'm not a Q guy. I'm not into that. I don't know that much about Q. I'm sure people, I don't know. Judge that on your own. But I don't know. It bothers me, man. It really does.
Yeah.
I mean, that being said, I have no plans on having kids. I have no horse in this race, but it really bothers me that no one talks about it. And a lot of people do care. I have seen so many signs and bumper stickers, because I drive a lot, all over the state with Save the Children.
But it's not governors or representatives that are. Yeah. I haven't heard very many people say anything about this. And I feel like it's used as a wedge issue, which is frustrating. It's the whole sexual assault thing with Joe Biden.
It shouldn't be a wedge issue.
No, dude, it's such a big crime. Why are they using that as a wedge issue? You should like legitimately care about people. That's what I don't understand.
The thing that drives me crazy is I mentioned QAnon. I don't know a whole lot about them, but I do know they're very focused on the whole child trafficking thing. I hate it how the media tries to push Q as like this right-wing conspiracy group. But then they'll like say, oh, Me Too is great. Well, shouldn't people who care about Me Too also care about children being trafficked? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of the same boat? Like,
I thought so.
I mean, yeah, maybe these people disagree with you politically, but like they still want something good. So why crucify them?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they did something bad I don't know about. I mean, that's fair. I don't know a lot about them, but I don't. It irks me. It really does.
If you look up QAnon, there are just top stories from like the Washington Post, USA Today,
even Wikipedia,
CNN,
even Wikipedia page.
A lot of these are saying, "Oh yeah, they're dividing the country and stuff." Like, no,
they're not,
dude. Okay. How the hell is CNN not dividing the country then? If it's only telling one side of the story.
Keep in mind, CNN also did once blackmail somebody for making a meme.
CNN.
Yeah, that was back during the meme war.
2016.
Yep, 2016.
Oh, the great meme war.
The great meme war.
Yeah, and
I didn't take part in that.
I did.
I was, you know what? I was indoctrinated by that actually.
The
By
meme war?
Yeah. I was, the whole Trump was the racist thing.
Oh, you were indoctrinated during that time.
Yeah.
Now you wear a MAGA hat.
Dark MAGA.
Oh, it's so great.
Coming out of the closet, I guess.
That's funny.
Yeah, he's the only one who has a MAGA hat. So,
Notice I've been silent when you guys are like, I don't like Trump. I'm like,
I mean, I don't hate the guy, but like, I don't think he's.
I won't be the
individual.
person that's like, oh, he's like pro God and
Yeah.
he has the Bible, whatever. That's bullcrap to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, the one thing I do like about him, he's very counterculture in a way.
Dude's
You know what I
an
mean?
odd guy. Yeah.
He's such a weird dude.
Yeah.
And like he's not your average politician who's gonna just give you BS.
That's what I like about
That's
him.
the one thing I really like about the guy. Even if he's very crass and not very tactful, he's counterculture. And I grew up very, punk rock. I don't like the establishment, which is probably why I never really bought the narrative they teach in schools, because I'm very like, nah, screw authority. But
authority has its place.
and, yeah, it has its place, but like, I don't know. I have a knee-jerk reaction to dislike. I don't know.
Blind obedience, though, is something that scares me.
No, hard no. But I do like how counterculture he is. That's the one thing I'll give him. I mean, I don't think he's a good individual. Not the kind of guy I'd have over for dinner.
I'd rather have him over than Joe Biden though, for dinner. I feel like I could have a conversation with Trump.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could with Joe Biden.
I don't know if you'd understand what I have to say.
Well, not even that, but like I've heard that's the analogy between like Bill Clinton and George Bush is like Bill Clinton probably was a more efficient president, but George Bush was the type of guy who
you'd want to have a beer with.
Yeah, you'd want to have a beer with.
Yeah.
And
yeah. I don't know.
I think that part's kind of important because if you're going to be representing the American people, I feel like you should represent me. And the bad part is I don't feel like Trump represents me, and I don't feel like Biden represents
He's been a billionaire for a long time. But I do like his fiscal policies on just economics and things like that.
See, and it's funny because that's where I'm very Democratic. I don't like Republican economics. I think trickle down doesn't work. But at this point, like there are so many things on the other side that like I used to vote for that I can't get on board with. I don't know. I have a hard time getting on board with either side, but like
I really like Trump bringing jobs back from China.
I like that too.
I like his trade deals, renegotiating things like that. I really, when this started, like kind of my eyes opening. Maybe I was misled in terms of just being, basically I was browned into it because it's like, oh, he's racist, kind of thing. So I mean, when he did his State of the Union address, that's kind of when I was like, okay, maybe there's something to it.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Nancy Pelosi and like this is
Shredding
many
the
years
paper?
ago? Yes, ripping up Trump's speech at the State of the Union address.
I would like to point out that in Trump's State of the Union address, in which Nancy Pelosi tore it up, is when he started saying, "Hey, we got this coronavirus thing that might be a problem."
Also,
that's the moment it was politicized. That's why I wanted to bring that up. I think Pelosi tearing it up is.
I thought it was childish.
It felt very unprofessional. Like you're gonna sit here and tell me that Trump is bad because he's boorish, but like you're gonna tear up his speech. Neither of you are good.
No,
neither of you are professional. I think you're both full of it.
So, okay, then like to get people in that are like actually more American and like more that we can like associate with and say, yeah, like I empathize with this guy. So like, do you think term limits would basically make it so you don't have this guy that's Joe Biden who's been in politics his entire freaking life to the point where we can never know who he is? But like, I don't know. I think term limits would help that.
I think that if Joe Biden had spent a little more time in the workforce, he'd have better policies.
I think if
he wasn't, living off government.
I don't know. I personally feel like, but then again, that might be a problem with this that I've just thought of as I was thinking about it in the last couple seconds. With term limits, I think it would be easier to steer the ship, so to say. Mm-hmm. It'd be easier to, this person's doing a bad job. They're not voting for the things we want as a district or whatever. We're going to vote in this guy and he's going to write things. But on the flip side, you may not have the person in there long enough to make lasting change, which could be an issue.
Yeah.
It could be a quick way to turn a country wrong.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to have, liberals and conservatives because conservatives are always going to hold on to traditional things. And then liberals are always going to push the boundaries, right?
Yeah.
It's important to have change occur slowly because you don't know how it could destabilize a certain thing.
Griller?
What was that?
I'm just kidding. A griller.
Bacon,
A griller?
$3.50. Oh, with bacon's not baking's baker.
Don't worry about it. Oops. Keep going.
So, I don't know. It would be a good thing to have people that are actually, there to do their job. But also you need to, have people that are there long enough to understand, okay, change isn't necessarily the best thing right now. Maybe we should think about doing it a different way, but slowly. Okay.
Then what if they basically put term limits on House of Representatives?
I think both House and Senate.
But like with what Derek's saying, maybe they don't have enough time to kind of get in
that's
there.
a good point. I'm
so
sorry.
what if just the Senate stayed?
I don't think it should be a lifetime thing. That's not what I'm saying. I think it should be a long term.
A long term.
Mm-hmm.
So what? Have the House every 4 years and the Senate every 8?
I don't know what the number would be to be beneficial. But
I was just shouting numbers out there.
yeah, maybe.
That'd be interesting. But yeah, I don't know. I listened to a podcast on my way home the other day, and I legitimately was worried. And this stuff typically doesn't worry me, but I'm getting to the
Who are you
point
listening
now.
to?
What the heck is his name?
Tim Pool?
Yeah, Tim Pool.
Yeah. I love Tim Pool's podcast.
The 4chan guy?
Huh?
No, is he the guy that we've been sending videos of back and forth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not a 4chan guy.
He is pretty well researched.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very well researched, but listening to that, and I don't think he's really right either. He's kind of
No, he's very left actually. Fiscal
He's
policy,
a left
pretty progressive
libertarian,
tax.
actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
Social liberal.
That's
as they say.
probably where I'd lie as social liberal. But I said, I can't get on board with what the Democrats are doing. It's just crazy. And some of the stuff the Republicans are doing, Ted Cruz. And I can't remember. There's Jason Chaffetz. They want to take away public lands that we have access to and sell them off. Yeah, I hate that, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that bugs the crap out of me. But there's no side I'm completely
Privatize
happy
everything.
with. But I also don't want to. I don't want to be in a position where my car's going to get attacked.
I don't like morality policing either.
Yeah, which I don't know. I think a lot of that comes from the right, though.
It used to. I think it used to 20 years ago, 30 years ago, maybe.
I still think it does, as far as abortion and stuff like that goes.
But they're not out there saying, "Oh, you're white, you have white privilege, you need to give me reparations." They're not saying that though.
Yeah, that's a good point. I still think there's a lot of
freaking go on your knee because you're white. That stuff pisses me off.
Or you've seen the video of the people running to a diner and they're like, "Raise your fist."
Yeah, raise your fist.
Yeah,
literally intimidating someone into raising their fist. What is that going to do?
Yeah, no.
What is that going to do?
It's a domination thing, I think.
Yeah, that's literally just intimidation.
Yeah, I don't like it.
That's not protest.
I don't know. Personally, I feel like the left has become the Puritans in a way. And a lot of people who want to just live and let live are now on the right. I feel like we've kind of had a weird inversion over the last 10 years.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I feel like it's changed so rapidly in the last few years, but the left has just become more left.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel like the right, I don't really feel like the right ever went further left. I feel like the right has kind of been compromising on more things. Gun control is a good example of that.
Or no, I think abortion is actually a pretty good example because back before it was no, but now you have a lot of people on the right who are up until I forget what it is, I have no certain amount of time. Up until then, it's fine. And under certain circumstances, it is fine.
Yeah.
A lot of people have moved to the left on that issue. As an example, I don't
probably because a lot of Democrats are actually leaving.
That is also walk away is a big thing.
Okay.
Hashtag walk away.
So something I don't really get to. So all these, a lot of these Democratic senators and people like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they're saying keep up the protest, keep them going. So my understanding is that the goal of a protest is to bring light to an issue that you're having, right? And then once you've brought light to this issue and expressed how you feel, isn't it the job of the representatives and the senators and the legislature to basically go write legislation based off of how you're feeling?
Yeah.
So why I don't understand if the Democrats know how they're feeling, why do they want these people to keep continuing to risk their safety? Because even if you just go to a protest, you're risking your safety that some guy might make it violent, and even you as a protester might get hurt. Yeah. A lot of these people who are getting hurt are protesters, and they were nonviolent. And like, I don't understand. Why are they still condoning that? Shouldn't they say, we understand how you feel at this point because you've been protesting. Now let us do our job to fix this.
They're just egging it on and not actually changing anything.
Yeah, I think they're egging it on because they think they're going to get more votes for doing so.
I think they're going to get less.
That's all it is.
I think the polls are flipping.
The polls are flipping, but I think the reason they're doing it is they think. Personally, I think a lot of these politicians, their barometer, I guess, if you want to use that word, for the public opinion, they use Twitter. Twitter is such a tiny fraction of
Twitter
this
is so moderated too. Like they are so leftist motivated.
Yeah. There's so much censorship on Twitter. Actually, yeah, talking about anything involving Kyle Rittenhouse will get you just immediately just banned.
Which, unless it's bad. But
yeah, unless it's bad, but anything talking about facts or anything, that you'll just get yeeted.
Which that's something that we talked about like last week, and I don't know, man. I think that's a bad gauge, and I think the Democrats, like whether you're for them or against them, what they're doing right now is losing them votes.
Yeah.
And I think it's because there's a lot. I think it's like 60 to 80% of Americans identify as independent.
Yeah.
That's a big sway vote. Like that's a big sway vote. So if you promote good policies rather than being just Democrat or just Republican, you can get those votes. And I don't feel like the Democrats are. I feel like neither side is really promoting good policy right now.
I think
there's
both
not a lot of
sides
policy
need to
coming
die.
out.
I think we just need politicians who have a platform, and we look at them and go, oh, this person lines up the best with my personal views. I'm going to vote for them. Not, oh, this person has an R or a D next to their name.
I agree with that. I think the vote all box on a ballot, man, that is bull crap.
It's the biggest
all
mistake we
Republican
made.
or all Democrat. No,
That is the biggest mistake we made in our government, in my opinion.
I agree.
Well, that and taxes, but
So would you say get rid of the party system completely, or we just have more parties?
I don't think we're going to be able to get rid of the party system unless we have a big culture shift.
I think that would be the only solution. Well, not even that. I think that if we had multiple parties with, different things. So obviously the Democrats have gone way more left at this point. There needs to be another one that just steps in right there. Like where the liberals
centrists?
are supposed to be.
We
The
could make one.
grillers.
Let's just make one. Start our own political party here in Utah.
There was in class actually one time we did a political debate thing. So it was Marvel versus DC.
Oh boy.
Okay. And so DC decided to be an open party like the Democrats, and I was on Marvel's side, I believe.
So you are on the better side because Marvel is better than DC.
Yes. But they were going to make, I think it was Captain America, their candidate. And so they had, on the DC side, they had a few options there. So we all went over there and voted and put Joker in as their candidate. And then sabotage them basically. And on the Marvel side, they had Captain America there. And I was like, I don't want to do this. So I had a couple of people here with me. I think probably 2 or 3. We were like, screw this. We're going to do this differently. So we had the third party come in, and we had the Star Wars party. So it was Yoda as president.
In this analogy, I'm pretty sure the libertarians would be the Shonen Jump.
No,
Freaking weeaboos.
The libertarians are, I don't know.
No, they'd be the weeaboo party.
I
say that from experience.
I don't think they have potential. Like the Libertarian Party, they're not ran well enough.
Real talk about the Libertarian Party. We're running out of time. Maybe I'll say this after we come back. All right, Derek, finish the story, bud.
Yeah, after I was rudely interrupted.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to clown on the weeaboos.
So anyways, we had Yoda as the
Candidate,
right? And so I was the representative for Yoda. Okay. And I went up to the front of class and they had their representative. So DC was trying to find some kind of argument to get freaking Joker elected because obviously that's a horrible idea. And
get what you deserve.
I remember the person, I'm not going to say their name. I'll tell you later. He was basically rallying for Joker. And he was doing something stupid.
Please tell me his slogan was, "We live in a society."
I don't remember. But basically, I just ratted on him the whole time, whatever. I didn't even touch Captain America.
Yeah.
So just completely ignored them and just won votes just by being charismatic. And some I think, I'll say the name again. after, but they were trying to challenge me on some of the things like, Jedi mind tricks and Yoda, like basically all those things.
Okay.
And I just shut him down, whatever, and he kept going, just bashing this guy, and we won.
Nice.
I was very proud. That's when I realized I liked to debate.
Okay. Yeah.
I realized that in
You like
debate.
argument.
I wish I kind of did the debate.
Yeah, I wish I would have
Class.
joined. I just took a class.
It was
or two.
basically
as well as
political events. It was cool.
AP Euro. I wish I did on that too.
Oh,
AP Euro.
was a good
Honestly,
class.
like I
Great
hate
class.
to admit it, but that class formed a lot of my political opinions on things. Just learning about history.
Yeah.
And going like, yes, this
Plus,
is why
we
this
had
is
a
bad.
teacher that was very.
She was nuts.
Yeah, she was nuts, but also she wanted you to make your own opinion on stuff.
Yeah, no, she
And
was
that was
super
great.
cool.
Yeah, she was
high
she was
mad
cool.
respect for that teacher.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Anyway, the libertarians. I was 100% on the Joe Jorgensen train. I sounded like an old Beetle driving by. Sorry.
Beetle.
Sorry, the flat four calls to me. Anyway. Basically, I was all on board. And then she was like, oh, we have... I believe she came out in support of BLM, which is fine. Cool, I don't care. But then she said we have to be anti-racist. Anti-racism is an ideology. I don't want a libertarian telling me that I have to adopt an ideology. That's very not libertarian.
But
So
not adopting ideologies is the exact reason why libertarians will never make it in the office.
exactly,
You have
yeah,
to-
yeah, But that's where I was going to come back with this. It's like, well, it's so hard for them to have a cohesive party because part of the reason I liked the libertarian. I'm a small L libertarian at this point. Instead of big L, like the party, people call the party big L libertarian, or if you have libertarian views, it's small L libertarian, right? Just want to clear that up. So when I use the terms, that's what it means. I'm a very individualist minded person. Like I don't like conformity necessarily.
Conformity is scary.
Yeah. I don't like agreeing with people because that's the popular opinion. I'm more than happy to say, no, screw you. I think this, and I don't care if you agree with me or not. Like, that's fine. But to have a libertarian say, you have to agree with this, or we need to agree with this. I'm like, no. No.
Yeah.
Not that those things are bad inherently or whatever. I really don't have much of an opinion on it. It was just the idea of someone claiming to run on a platform of, live and let live, and then saying you have to be a certain way. No.
Which I think if there was ever a time where an independent could run and win, it would have been this election or the last one.
It's such a lost cause at this point, though.
They
Some
need a
people
good
love
candidate.
Trump, though.
Some people love Biden, though.
I feel like
Some people are.
I will argue there are more people who are voting because they like Trump than people who are running because they like Biden. I feel like most people who are voting for Biden are voting that way because they hate Trump.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
So
like
never
part of their-
Trumpers.
Yeah, that's like part of their freaking campaign, right?
I've heard people.
Well, I'm not Trump.
Yeah,
You know?
I've heard people joke that like
Trump bad.
this election
Biden
is
good.
more of a referendum on Trump than an election.
Yeah. Which I don't know. His approval rating isn't
It's gone.
super.
It's gone up.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah,
It went really low there for a minute, but let's see.
yeah. But his approval rating has always been kind of messed up because from day one they were just. I mean,
Well,
even
they
before he was
can't
elected.
poll his supporters. There's not really. They don't have a way to do it
Yeah.
because their supporters are
Well,
very in the closet about
the
it.
reasoning I've heard is like polling groups will say that we can't reach non-college educated white people. But I wonder if part of the problem is just people are going to vote for Trump, but they just don't want to tell a journalist or some pollster that they're going to do so because they'll be ostracized if people find out. So like, oh, totally, yeah, I'm voting for Biden.
You know
But
what?
they're
I
not going to.
did a poll for Trump one time,
Yeah.
and I get so many emails from his campaign.
He's got to lay out the email. I'm sure
Holy
Biden's campaign's
shoot.
probably the same way.
Oh,
but-
yeah. I never respond to polls.
On
personally.
the day of the RNC,
Oh, yeah.
I had like probably 15 emails, and I was like, "Holy
you guys
shoot!"
see that the RNC pulled more views than the DNC?
Really?
So
Yeah.
not actual TV,
Well, online views.
online views. If you total them all out, RNC beat them.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you hit me all you want, bud.
yeah, which I don't know. What do you guys think is going to happen if Trump wins?
The left is going to riot.
Yeah, they're going to throw more tantrums.
But I think they're going to do that either. I think they're going to do that either way, to be honest.
Yeah. So, do you think if they riot, do you think Trump's going to have to use the Insurrection Act?
It depends on where
That's
they riot.
scary
It
because
depends on where they
I don't
riot.
like it.
I don't
If they
like it
riot in
either, but-
DC, he probably won't have to use the Insurrection Act because it's in DC.
Yeah, which it sounds like his power is pretty limited in DC as far as what he can do for crowd
Well, his
control too.
power anywhere is pretty limited. That's the thing that drives me crazy. They'll say like, "Oh, Trump's a fascist." Like, well, if he was, why didn't he send in the military to stop these riots?
Yeah.
Why does he keep
Still
asking?
in Portland.
Why
Still
does he
going on
keep
in Portland.
asking these governors and mayors like, "Hey, I can offer you assistance if you accept," and they always say no.
Yeah, and then people get mad because they're
Credit-
like, well, Trump was basically withdrawing money from these cities that burned. And you know what? If I'm Trump, I'm not going to give them federal aid.
No.
Dude, I offered and said, hey, I have the support and the manpower to help you get everybody back to a peaceful position.
Yeah.
And when they say no, I'm not going to clean up.
Especially when
their
they're trying to
mistakes.
burn down the federal courthouse in Portland. I'm like, you were trying to burn down my building. Why am I going to give you money?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I forget. Was it Minneapolis?
Where it started?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
where
it was all
So
Minneapolis
basically,
started.
you know, that city was like, "Okay, we need federal aid to rebuild the city."
Nope.
They were like,
Yeah.
"No, you let it happen. You didn't
Which,
ask
okay,
for help."
that's not like I'm a little shady on the understanding of this, but like that's not just a Trump thing that Trump.
No,
can
that
say
wasn't. That was the
no,
federal
right?
government.
Yeah,
thing.
that's a Congress and
Yeah.
Trump
Yeah, yeah,
together
yeah.
saying no.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it's like, imagine like walking outside with a hammer, breaking all the windows in your car, calling up your insurance and saying, "Hey, I broke all my windows. Will you pay for it?" And they're like, "No, you broke your windows, you idiot. Don't do
Yeah.
that."
Yeah. Oh.
It doesn't make sense, does it?
Yeah,
What do you guys think is going to happen if Biden wins?
The left is going to riot.
I don't know if the left is going to riot if
Yeah, they
Biden
will.
wins. You think so?
Biden's
Because
been
this is-
supporting them. Who's going to stop
This
them?
sort of thing with the cops shooting someone is going to happen again, and they're going to riot again.
But
Yeah,
They're
like,
going to riot again.
Biden's not going to do anything about it.
how many? I guess Ferguson and stuff that happened with Obama, right?
Yep.
And people still rioted.
Yep.
Yeah. So I guess it doesn't.
I do
matter
believe he
who's in
sent the
presidency.
National Guard in.
So he
Maybe it was Berkeley.
he technically can't send the National Guard in. It has to be the state governor.
Yeah, but they
he
were sent in.
recommended.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, and that's the same position Trump's been in. Is like, hey, I recommend this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but they keep saying no because it's Trump, which I think is also massive TDS. Like, I would rather my city burn than accept help from you. It's like
Portland's mayor,
Ted
oh
Wheeler.
my gosh, dude.
Yeah, what a
They
putz.
freaking like ransacked his building though,
Yeah, his apartment
I saw
complex.
that.
and
They,
his neighbors were like throwing things at the rioters, like things out of their balconies,
like potted plants and stuff. Yeah,
trying to, you know.
Jeez.
And I bet they got a talking to the Tim Wheeler there.
Well, I'm sure people were pounding. I would be pounding on his door. Get out.
Oh, dude, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing too. Is like the people who live there, they didn't deserve that.
No, they didn't, man.
They had
Like,
nothing to do with it.
the
They just
shop
happened
owners
to
didn't
live
deserve
next to
it.
the
Yeah.
guy.
I hear a lot of those people aren't even from Portland that are doing the rioting.
Well, a lot of people who go to riots aren't from those cities.
Yeah.
Like, I believe it was of the 175 people arrested in Kenosha, 104, I believe, were from out of state.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's crazy. So over half.
Yeah,
It's the
exactly.
same in Utah when that happened.
Salt Lake,
Yeah, Salt Lake.
Yeah, which Salt Lake's becoming very, very left.
It has been for a while.
There's still
while.
restaurants closed in Salt Lake.
Which, go ahead, Utah County. I don't care. I don't like Utah County. I'm like,
That's Salt Lake County. It's a little different.
oh, is
but-
it Salt Lake County?
Well, Salt Lake County is
Salt Lake.
Salt Lake.
I think Salt Lake County is about the same as Utah County. I have the same opinion of both of them.
Yeah, I couldn't care less for either. It's like the middle of Utah. Okay, let me explain this to people who aren't from the state. People on
you're
the
watching.
northern, west eastern, and southern parts of the state kind of hate the center a lot.
It's not that we hate the center.
We do.
They're weird.
No, we don't like them. They're obnoxious. There's way too many of them.
They're judgmental.
They drive like a-holes.
Yeah.
Do you really need to go 85 through a construction zone that's 60?
You don't.
I see it every day. I'm on to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, like, yeah, everyone from the outskirts of the state, we don't like the middle, particularly not Utah County, but Salt Lake's definitely getting up there, in my opinion. I don't like going there. It's just me.
I don't either. But like, I don't know. We saw riots in Salt Lake, like,
Yeah.
and there were people like flipping cop cars and
Light them on
You see
fire.
that white lady, that tweaker was freaking peeing on the cop car?
yeah,
Yeah,
there
yeah.
had to be drugs involved. I mean, unless she's just very confident, but I don't have the confidence to like get up in front of 40 people on a burning cop car that's being filmed.
It
and
depends
pee
on how inebriated I am, I suppose.
You'd have to be pretty, I don't know.
Yeah, pretty out there.
For a girl to do it, you know, she's like squatted on top of the thing.
Yeah, I mean, when you're drunk, you're drunk. Right?
But I think the difference is Utah really. So our governor mobilized the National Guard. They came in, made sure all the residents were safe. They enacted curfews, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whenever a cop was kind of threatened, or like that cop car that they flipped over and burned, they got that police officer safe, didn't have to do any confrontation basically. And then they came after these people later.
I believe one of the people who helped flip the car turned themselves in.
They took
really good.
Yeah.
They took to Facebook and basically, you know, these people, turn them in.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I wish 4chan would have been on that.
4chan only gets involved when it's like a
big deal.
a big assault that makes big news. Because I mean, they're from all over.
Like he shall not divide us.
Anyway, B boys.
Oh, it's so
B boys or something else. Don't go on B. Don't go on 4chan. All it is porn. I'm not gonna lie to you. All it is porn.
But man, they are effective.
The thing that drove me crazy, especially with Salt Lake, and this applies to other places, it's like, well, they have insurance. Most cities are self-insured.
Yeah.
You know who pays for that? The people who live in Salt Lake County.
Which I don't live in Salt Lake County, so I'm not as upset about it.
I'm not personally upset about it, but like if I lived there, I would be.
I would be upset if they defaced my Capitol, which they did.
Yeah, spray paint.
That was
all over.
upsetting.
That made me kind of sad.
It's like, yeah, what's that going to do? Aside from making people dislike you.
The cool part was in Utah, like the few days after that, like the people came and defaced our Capitol, there were tons of people that were turning out despite the coronavirus stuff to clean it up. Like that, I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that was good.
I mean,
really cool.
yeah, it was cool. But the same with other cities, I hate it. With like, oh, we can steal from these stores. They have insurance. Have you ever dealt with an insurance company?
It's not pleasant.
Like,
You're only insured to a certain point, too.
especially like when it comes to state insurances. I got a little story for you. Long story short, I had a highway patrolman back up into my car, ruined my front passenger side fender, demolished my strut assembly, messed up my front passenger wheel. I couldn't drive the car. I had to get it towed to a shop. It was very expensive, or would have been very expensive. I had to call the state of Utah insurance, whatever they are, bureau. I had to call them every day for 2 weeks to get my car back. Like before they started working on it. Like, deal with insurance is not fun. They do everything they can to not pay you or not fix whatever it is. You really think these companies that are these small businesses even had insurance in the first place, or they had riot coverage, or their insurance even covers riots?
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't know how that works. Like if your restaurant had like fire insurance, but it got burned down in a riot.
Is it arson? Does it count? Probably not.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how that works, but
Civil unrest is what they call it. They probably say no. Because insurance companies want to do everything in their power to not pay you out for things.
yeah.
Like any loophole they can take. They just want to take money from you. They don't want to pay anything out.
And you know, as much as I dislike insurance companies, at the end of the day, it's still not right to say, it's fine, someone else is going to pay for my mistake. That's not okay. Like,
well, okay, then what are you going to do? Raise the insurance premiums for everybody who has a store or residents in the area? That's not
or
right
a car,
either.
like all the cars that are getting burned. We already pay enough. Like,
Have you seen the aftermath of Kenosha, like those auto malls?
Yeah.
That is insane.
Or they pulled, I believe it was like a month ago or so, they pulled a body out of a burnt building in Minnesota that had been there since the beginning of the riots. Yeah. Like,
that is horrible, man.
yeah, I don't know, man. The whole thing is just not very good.
Yeah, that's what's making me mad in the world right now. So I think all of our recommendation is vote, but don't just go vote. Be an educated voter. Find some good sources. And I hate to say it, but the mainstream media is not a good source anymore. You guys have got to find primary sources.
Keep in mind of biases. Like going back to, we talked about AP Euro. One of the big things with that class is, so dumb to be talking about this as an adult.
Oh, BBQ, right?
BBQ. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, I think so.
Some dumb, acronym for it. But the idea was you'd get a piece of literature, whether it be a newspaper clipping or some writing,
Like a
some
journal or
journal,
something,
whatever.
yeah.
But you'd read the thing and it'd tell you who the person was, what they did. And then you'd have to analyze it and be like, oh, well, there was this thing talking about, let's say it was written by a Catholic priest talking about a lack of funding, right? And you'd read it and be like, well, priests tended to have more money back in the day. Did they really need this money, right?
Yeah.
And so you'd analyze it based on a person's background and what they did. I think you should do the same thing with news companies. Like look at it and be like, well, they make money based on clicks, right? So if the headline is shocking, they want the clicks. Of course, it's going to be shocking.
They're YouTubers with larger platforms.
They're YouTubers whose platform is dying because of YouTubers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, my take on it is like an example that if you go to CNN's a typically very, very leftist organization. The story they're telling you is probably not accurate. It's probably somewhere a little bit closer to the right. If you go watch Fox News,
They lean right. It's going to be closer to the left.
Yep. Yeah. So find two sources on either side. Get in the middle.
I would also say I don't know what the term is for it, but I believe in journalistic ethics, which I don't believe are being held up anymore.
No, they're not.
You're supposed to find three sources. I do the same with your news, but make sure the three sources are separate.
Yeah. Make sure that you're not like CNN, MSNBC, and then like
We talked about it last time where you'll see an MSNBC article and their source is CNN and their source is somebody else and then their source is just some rando on the street, right?
Yeah.
Like, find the sources and yeah.
So be educated, man. I don't care who you vote for, but just know what's going on when you vote.
But also vote. Like, I don't care who you vote for, but just like have an opinion and voice it.
Yeah.
It's your right. You may as well.
Yeah. And part of your responsibility of being an American and having the responsibility to vote is to be educated about who you're voting for.
But also, like, I hate when people like complain about politics. Like, oh, who'd you vote for in 2016? Oh, I didn't vote. No, I couldn't. It was I didn't vote. I'm like, well, what are you complaining about? You didn't vote.
Yeah.
Like, if you couldn't have voted, I understand. That's fair. But I did. I could have, and I did, right? And so I feel like, yeah, I'll complain about stuff all day. At least I participated in the process.
So I think I was old enough to vote. I can't remember, but if not,
I don't think you were.
I don't think you were.
I wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, you were.
So
Yeah.
my perspective of it was I was going to vote for Trump because I was like, I don't want either of them to be president. And if I vote for Trump, Trump isn't going to win because he was down by like 12 in the polls. And then he won. And I was like, well, good thing I couldn't vote. Because I did not want to vote for the winner of that because there were two very bad
The
outcomes.
2016 election, I remember that night very clearly. I was at
Stayed up all night for that.
I was in high school, so I was doing some theater stuff. And it was like me and like three other people were more right-leaning, and we were all just like huddled around one guy's phone, and we're like, yes. Because I mostly wanted to watch him win because I thought it'd be funny.
Just out of spite.
Yeah, I totally out of spite. I mean, once again, I figured he was the least mainstream candidate. Like, screw the system, screw the elite. Like, yeah, I want to see him win.
Yeah, so I was devastated when Trump won.
I'm sorry.
Daddy Dark MAGA was
But now
sad.
you've got a MAGA hat. What?
Yeah, like I said, I got browned into it.
You know, and like, okay,
He hates
I
Mexicans.
shouldn't laugh at that, but it's kind of funny.
that's a great example though. Like you hate someone or hate something like on the surface, and then you look into their policies and you're like, wow, maybe actually I like this. I
And
don't
then to
care
find
if you're a
that-
Trump supporter and you go look into Biden and say, wow, I actually like his policies.
Mad
That's
respect.
fine too.
Not just
Yeah.
that, but the fact that the media was actually just lying about all of the things that I was worried about.
The mainstream media is lying really bad right now. It's just sad to me,
Yeah.
especially like even with the COVID stuff.
So after that, I decided this right here was an indicator of how much sunscreen I should wear, not how I think up here. So I would just recommend that to everyone out there. Use your head, not your skin, to think.
That was really good, bud.
Yeah,
I actually
and
like that.
I think that's probably a great way to end this episode.
Yeah.
Landed
Cool.
there.
Let's not get banned.
Yeah, let's not get banned. We probably will. But also, like, hey, we have our opinions. If you have a problem with that, I'm sorry, but I don't think any less of you if you disagree with me. Like, that's totally cool.
If you have your own opinion that you've educated, I think way more of you than I would if you are just blatantly agreeing with me.
But also, like, don't like send us the people who know us. Don't be sending me angry text messages. I won't respond. So warning you in advance. I care, but I don't.
I don't want to. Yeah,
I don't want to get any fights over this. This is my opinion. If you disagree with me, that's cool. Like,
you're entitled to have your opinion. Like I said,
entitled to have mine.
Totally empowered. If you do the research into having your opinion, that's amazing. That's part of what's being an American.
Yeah. Yep.
The main thing is, like you said, be educated, because
I
that's
don't care
what
which
scares me more
direction.
than anything
Be
is just
educated.
people just following what the media is saying. That's what scares me more than anything.
You mean the entire coronavirus response?
But most importantly, like, comment, and subscribe. Feel free to share this video with your friends. And hey, if you're interested in like following me on Parler, maybe I'll start shouting out like when we release stuff. I'm not going to use Twitter. I'm not basic enough to use Twitter. Is that still a word people use? I don't know. I should know. But yeah, like if you guys are interested in it, let me know. I doubt like the 15 of you who watch actually know what Parler is, but that's cool.
Considering that only 1 out of the 3 know here.
Yeah.
I don't even know if
I'm mostly kidding. But no, do like and share if you can, if you mind.
follow us on Instagram.
Yeah.
I run that thing. So
Yeah, he does. So if you're going to
send your hate mail to Derek.
well, if you, I was more going to say if you're going to send risque pictures, he's the one who's going to see it. So, keep that in mind. He's married though.
Yeah. And he's having a kid. So
just because there's a goalie doesn't mean you can't score.
we'll see you next week.